ideal. This is something that's been in the works for more than 10 years now, and this is crucial for India because just last year in 2025 the Indian government set itself a very ambitious target of producing 100 gigawatts of clean energy using nuclear fuel, and this comes at a time when India has been pivoting hard towards sources of energy which are non-polluting.
And finally, in the UK, the governing Labour Party and opposition Conservatives and Liberal Democrats say they will not stand in a by-election being triggered by Nigel Farage. The Reform UK leader is resigning as an MP to stand in a by-election in Clacton. He says it's a fight against the establishment and denies any wrongdoing as allegations swirl about his financial arrangements and donors. Foreign Secretary Yvette Cooper said Nigel Farage is having a political tantrum.
It's like Nigel Farage has just decided, well, the normal rules in politics that say, do you know what, if you get millions of pounds in donations, you need to declare it because, frankly, everybody needs to know there's not something dodgy going on. They need to know whether or not, who it's come from, whether there's any conditions, what is going on, because that is just about the normal rules of politics and it's what the public have a right to know.
From Feature Story News in New York, I'm Mitch McCann, and that was the Week in Review.
Now, how much money will all those closeted Republican convention goers bring into the city, Marie?
A lot. The average area prostitute normally makes around $200 to $300 a week jerking off truck drivers behind the bus station.
I see.
Next week, they are expecting to make 30 times that amount sucking off secretly gay Republicans.
Wow.
You figure the fact that these delegates are so repressed and filled with self-hatred,
yes,
they tend to like the filthiest, kinkiest sex acts imaginable.
Oh, that's
which
right.
tends to cost more. The average well-adjusted gay man has no desire to smear fecal matter all over his partner's face or be beat up by him. But that is exactly the sort of thing that these repressed conservatives are willing to pay top dollar for.
Okay, as well as the services of transsexuals, I understand.
Yes. A lot of the Republicans repeatedly call the prostitutes faggots or start crying after they've had sex with them.
I suppose the prostitutes are shoring up on their politics so they can talk to the Republicans.
Ha ha, Andrea, what do you think this is? Pretty woman? They're just there to get
right. Thank you, Marie Byron.
RNC's always a good time.
This is the Onion News Network.
You can help spread the ideas of liberty with our Patreon for just $5 per month at amps.freetalklive.com.
Free Talk Live.
It's Free Talk Live, talk radio that you control, and that means that you can call 603-283-6160. That's 603-283-6160 to get in on the conversation with us. You can bring up whatever's on your mind. It's up to you because it's Free Talk Live, and with you on Free Talk Live tonight, you've got me, Bonnie,
Lori,
and Richie Rich.
And we have lots of stuff to talk about, lots more stuff to talk about than yesterday. Like yesterday, Riley and I were like, there's like nothing interesting to talk about. I don't know why it was like nothing. Then I go on Drudge and I was like actually finding good stuff just right there on Drudge.
Well,
today.
Luckily I'm here today.
Yeah.
With a plethora of absurd stories at your disposal.
Yes, including Fort Wayne Man. Where is Fort Wayne? I don't know where that is. But
Indiana, I think.
Oh, okay. Fort Wayne
Is it
Man.
the only Fort Wayne?
There's a Fort Wayne, Wright, Alaska. That's where I was born.
Okay.
And it's spelled the same way except with Wright at the end.
I feel like they just say Fort Wayne. It's got to be the one that
it's spelled
would come
different
to most people's minds, which
like
would be
Springfield.
Indiana. Yeah. There's like a million of those.
Oh yeah, it's not. They wouldn't shorten Fort Wayne, right? I'm just saying that. That's
See, when
the first thing I think
Fort
of.
Wayne, it says city in Indiana.
Okay.
So.
Oh, okay. That's weird to call it a city, unless that. Well, there's like a Fort Collins, Colorado, that actually isn't a fort. It's a place. And I always thought that was so weird.
Did it used to be a fort?
Probably. That's probably what it is.
I'm pretty sure all of those fort places were named after forts at one time.
Yeah, like maybe Fort Wayne was like the Civil War one since it's in Indiana. I don't know. But, or maybe it actually is a fort. It doesn't matter.
I don't think it's still a fort.
Oh, okay. Well, especially comes up as town.
Maybe they have a military installation of some kind, but I'm pretty sure like the fort.
Yeah, like Fort Devens, or do they say fort anymore at Devens?
They just call it Devens now.
Oh, okay.
It used to be Fort Devens, though.
Well, anyway, there's this place called Fort Wayne, probably Indiana, and we'll probably find that out after reading this, but this from WDRB.com. Fort Wayne man accused of cutting off his genitals and using them to commit arson, which, how does that even work?
Yeah,
We're going to find out if you keep reading.
He found out.
He did it, which is bizarre in and of itself.
Kind of like I'm imagining something like a Roman candle situation.
Go on.
Never mind.
Okay.
Well,
Are you talking about
just
like
a
the
little
fireworks?
tube and fireworks shoot out. Can't imagine any other way it shoots out.
I'm confused how you didn't like pass out before completing the arson.
That's a good point.
So a couple
lot
of
of blood.
things. Roman candles do go the other way, and my stepbrother can attest
What
to
does that
this.
mean? Go the other way? They went towards him?
He held it out, and it backfired.
Oh no!
Because it was defective, and he like burned his jacket and his arm in like one fell swoop.
That's horrible.
Because he wanted to play with fireworks.
Yeah, I've never
wrong.
wanted to play with those ever.
Okay, so just be careful. Be careful with flammable things, and
even sparklers. I'm like, man, those things burn hot.
Maybe he was flaming gay, and that's how he was able to commit arson with this jet. But we do have a caller on the line, so let's go see who's on the line.
we can tease this a little bit longer.
Unscreened caller. Hey, you're on Free Talk Live. What's your name?
I want to talk about. You guys were talking about if the election was stolen in 2020.
Do you believe it was?
And, of course, they released all the documents. Is what happened. It's all you have to do. And I have not gone to WhiteHouse.com, but they said if you go, there's a treasure trove of documents, and it shows a lot of proof of a lot of corruption. And apparently Pompeo, the Secretary of State for the last year or two of the first Trump administration, knew everything. He was the head of the CIA. And
so hold on one second. You believe the election was stolen because they released the documents, but you haven't gone to read the documents to verify the claim. Is that correct?
Nor have you.
Okay. I'm not making any claims, though. So have you ever served on a jury?
Hell no.
Okay.
What?
Good. Because he believes the claim without actually looking at the evidence.
Okay, yeah, good.
No, I honestly, yes.
Oh, nothing. We didn't say anything.
I knew it was stolen from the get-go because the Democrats have these drop boxes in California. They said they were going to put the deer, what do they call it, trail cameras, because the people drop into bundles of ballots that are printed.
So once again, you've heard a claim, but have you seen these deer cam videos?
Do they have videos out like that? I hadn't thought about.
No, I haven't. I thought they were going to get them all set up. Wait.
Okay. So you've heard two claims of election interference and have seen zero evidence to verify those claims.
Okay, wait a minute.
He said he has a question.
Can we have a conversation tomorrow? We'll both go on the WhiteHouse.com website. And do you have an assistant on staff by any chance that could go through these documents? I'm not a secretary person or am I a computer person, but definitely.
But you're the one making the claim.
Well, we're not live tomorrow, but.
Right. If I were making a claim, you might be able to say like, but you're claiming this. I'm not making a claim. I'm just questioning yours.
I would be interested for you to call back after going on the website, honestly, because I would like to know what you learn and what things you could point to.
Because Bonnie also doesn't want to do the research.
I don't. Oh, man, this noise. Yeah, that noise bad.
Radio crime.
Well, can I ask you one last question?
Yeah, sure.
Did you see the footage in Atlanta where they said the pipe was burst and then they kicked all of the ballot counters out of the building and then they proceeded to pull the suitcases out from under the table?
No. Does the video show the suitcases?
Yes. They show them pulling. If you're unaware of that incident or the fraud in Nevada or in Michigan, then I was going to say, excuse me, that's common knowledge. So it was definitely stolen, and I'll get off the air. Have a nice day.
If it wasn't common knowledge, the president wouldn't have to do a press conference.
Dude, Dude, look it up. Take some time.
No, it probably is something that they have video of. And the thing is, it's common knowledge probably for people who like watch Fox News all day and like are really invested in it. It's like,
Sure.
It probably is something that if you really like care about that. The thing is, like, I have since I was a little kid always just like assumed these things are not like that.
Fair.
How could somebody not cheat?
Yeah.
I said this to Riley yesterday. I was like, once you get to that level and you're like, if there's this thing is real at all, if it's not literally like a complete, absolute like just theater, it'd be insane for you not to cheat. Like,
Yeah. If you're not cheating, you're not trying.
yeah, like
Win if you can, lose if you must.
gotta assume
Always
the other
cheat.
person's gonna cheat.
And that's the thing. That's what I'm on record somewhere as saying, like, both parties cheated. Biden cheated better.
Right. That's probably all that it is.
And here's the thing with like the Trump side of things. Trump, leading up to the election, predicted the way that the Biden campaign was going to cheat. He's like, this is how they're going to do it. It's going to be all these mail-in ballots, and then failed to cheat better.
While being in office,
mitigate
too.
that while knowing how your your opponent's move, right? Like this was chess or sports or like you know what your opponent's going to do, and you don't do anything to mitigate it. Like you deserve to lose.
Yeah, and he was the one in office too. Like I know it'd be
Right.
like interfering with like state elections. So maybe that was the point Riley was trying to make yesterday too, because he was saying something like, "Oh well, Trump was in office." I don't know. I
Look,
just like kind of
if Trump knew that they were going to have like boxes full of mail-in ballots, at the ready, right? Then the Trump delegates or whomever in that location that they were, worried about should have had double the amount of boxed ballots ready to go under the table to pull out when necessary. And then you wouldn't have that, what was it, Michigan? The Michigan spike, the 3 a.m, like 300,000 ballots comes in for Biden or whatever at 3. Like you would have.
See, the common knowledge, that they cheated. No.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, there's a graph of it that people made a shirt that said fraud with it, but
Well, we have another caller on the line, so let's see what they want to talk about. Caller, what's your name? You're on Free Talk Live.
Hi there. My name is Dan, and I wanted to thank you for taking my call.
Yeah.
Free Talk Live
Thanks
for
for
a long time.
Thanks for calling.
No, my pleasure. Listen, for a long time. I want to tell you one thing as a wannabe broadcaster. You're doing a great job. I've been listening to you since you took over for your husband, and I'm really sorry that he's in jail dealing with what he's dealing with right now.
Oh, thank you.
It's unfortunate. It kind of leads to my question. Now that we have Donald Trump, and I'm going to come back to that previous call this point because that was crazy. Now that we have Donald Trump who is making money off of Bitcoin and digital coins, have you looked in, and I'm going to say because he's a corrupt president, looking into maybe trying to get a pardon from the president and trying to spend some kind of money on that? Because
yeah, and you and anyone listening could go to freeiannow.org and sign the petition, which would help get the idea of a pardon in front of Trump's eyes and ears, because always being able to point to. Sorry, the background noise is kind of loud. I'm gonna have to turn you down, maybe.
Yeah, I'll turn it off right now. Sorry, so sorry.
Okay.
And we can hear the turn by turn.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm driving. I turned it off. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
Apology accepted.
But yeah, you could go to freeiannow.org, check out the whole story of why the founder of the show, Free Talk Live, and my husband Ian is in prison, and you could sign the petition. But
okay.
Thank you.
And if you got the time, read the Jacob Hornberger 3-part article on that.
Yep, it's on the website.
It's a long read and well worth it.
No, I kind of fell off of Free Talk Live just when it was going down because I had some important stuff come up. And I knew kind of the backstory of how they kind of railroaded him. They charged him for some stuff he wasn't associated with because they used a vending machine of his, which that to me is crazy. So anyone who owns a vending machine is part of the crime now?
Yeah, basically, and actually New Hampshire's trying to make those laws themselves. It's pretty bad. New Hampshire wants to make it to where if somebody scams someone and they happen to use your vending machine, then you're at fault. And so there's not going to be any vending machines in New Hampshire, so that's crazy.
Right, and just to button this up,
vending machine owners should be on the hook for taking my 50 cents for Doritos in 3rd grade.
But to button up the previous caller's claims, I just want the public to know that all those claims that he's claiming were debunked. The first part he was talking about is pulling the ballots up underneath the beneath the table. That was debunked. And they had to pay women. That was Rudy Giuliani who made those claims, and they ended up having to pay. Rudy Giuliani himself ended up having to pay the women, the 2 black women, because of those claims, millions of dollars. He ended up losing his penthouse. Also, but Bill Barr, Trump's own, not Secretary of State, I think he was Attorney General. Bill Barr's own Attorney General said there was no evidence of fraud during the 2020 election.
Wow.
Trump just,
That sounds like a lie. Right? Like, I believe there was fraud, but I believe it was on both sides. Because as Bonnie said, like, you kind of have to assume at that level they're cheating in somewhere, some form of fact.
Every time.
Yeah.
Every election.
But to quote a very smart man, you have no
Tell me what I said.
But you don't have any evidence. You don't have any evidence, because I believe in that. And everywhere I've seen is, what's the incentive for election fraud?
To win the election for the most powerful position on the planet.
No. I'm talking, okay, yeah, we understand for the candidate, but I'm talking about for the person who actually goes to the ballot and who has an undocumented immigrant who's coming in there, who's mailing 2 ballots. What's their incentive? There's nothing
to get paid.
financial.
Yeah, maybe getting paid, maybe. Yeah, I could see someone getting paid.
Either directly or indirectly through welfare.
They were like in California, they were showing, this is just like the California elections, they were showing videos of people like on Skid Row saying they got paid $2 to go vote for somebody. $2.
That was debunked. I saw that video. That's been debunked. Actually,
by who?
People, KTLA. You can look it up.
Mythbusters.
Yeah, KTLA, they found those people. See, and that's what I appreciate you guys so much for, because you're at least honest. We may not agree with everything, but I appreciate you at least looking at the other side. Man, some of these, it's just dishonesty what those people have put out about the LA election.
Yeah. I also watched when it came out, I forget the dude's name, but I did watch the documentary, The 2,000 Mules, or whatever. Yep. That was all about the ballot, the mail-in ballot.
Deepak Chopra.
That is it, Deepak? Yeah, okay, that's fine.
He was in the Epstein files.
Okay, whatever. Like, I watched the documentary. I wanted to see it, right? But I've also watched the documentaries like on Elvis is Still Alive and We Faked the Moon Landing, right? Like, those things interest me. It doesn't mean I believe everything they're saying.
Yeah.
So, Bonnie, some months ago, I was listening to you, and you said and I just kind of felt bad, because you said, well, I feel myself aligning with more Republicans than I do Democrats. I'm neutral. I don't care. But I think you're such a sweet girl. I don't think you align with those people. So,
I don't really align with Republicans anyway. It's like more like
New Hampshire Republicans.
Yeah, like exactly. I don't align at all with like the average person in like, I don't even know where to
Florida
really
and
say.
Texas.
Yeah, like Florida. I don't want to be there. Or like I don't even know any Republicans in Texas, considering I lived in like a city, so it's hard to say. I just like I think that like New Hampshire does change your politics in a way, because like most people are purple. Most people are actually like independents and have different opinions on certain what's the word, like issues. Like you could be a Democrat that likes guns here, things like that. I mean, for the most part, the Republicans are the ones that are more open-minded in New Hampshire even. And I think maybe more conservative as I get older, less about being a Republican. Like I feel like neither the Republican or the Democrats actually have like principles. They're just like doing whatever their leader says at whatever time, whatever war it's back or whatever.
Right. I think Bonnie just means like right libertarian, like still within the libertarian mindset, but to the right of the libertarian square and not to the left of the libertarian square.
Which I actually always have tested into the right.
Yeah.
But
I probably would too, because I'm not into all that weird stuff that people on the left are into. But like, they should be free to do it.
Yeah.
It's just not my thing.
They're free to do it. Yeah. That's fine.
Yeah, I think if anybody ever thought I ever thought people shouldn't be free to do whatever they want to do that doesn't hurt me, that would be different.
But I also think that's what makes me like more libertarian than anything else, and or anarchist if you're comfortable with that term.
Do you have anything else for us, Dan?
No, thank you for taking my call. I appreciate it. You all have a wonderful day.
Thank you for calling. It seems like people have really strong opinions on the election fraud stuff. That's kind of interesting. Me and Riley were like, that's boring, kind of, but it seems like some people really do have strong opinions.
The only thing of note with that, right, is not that, okay, so it was fine, it was 6 years ago, who cares? Mm-hmm. But they're setting it up so that there's questions when the Republicans lose the midterms, which is upcoming.
Oh, I
right?
can see
Like
that.
this has nothing to do with 2020. This is preempting what's about to happen
And
in
you're right,
2026.
because now he's just like coming out and saying it right now. So
I mean, they constantly scream that there was fraud anyway. So what is it setting it up for? More of that? Like,
well, the like by all accounts,
the more things change, the more things stay the same.
By all accounts, the Republicans are slated to lose big in the midterms.
Uh-huh.
So when they lose big, they're going to scream election fraud and show you all the evidence from 2020 and say, look, they're doing it again.
Isn't it always that way, though, or almost always? Whoever's in power at the time is the ones who loses pretty typically?
Yeah.
yeah,
So, like, who
because they're the people to
cares?
be mad at right then. Well,
And
we
everyone's so...
Because the Republicans want to stay in power.
We have another unscreened caller that doesn't. The name's not popping up, so we might be a new person. Caller, what's your name? What's your topic you want to talk about? You're on Free Talk.
Name's Fitzgerald from the Great Lakes area.
Cool. I was just around there. I was in Grand Rapids last month, and I really, really like the area. I really like Grand Rapids.
Yeah, foreigners came from overseas and created the largest bulb company in the world. And like and it's like the third largest city in Michigan.
Okay.
And
did you say bulb company, like light bulbs?
Once you get north of the 45th parallel, water runs north. So what makes Grand Rapids is they excavated the area between where the river is and the lake to allow more water flow to pass that way. And so it's just like, a continuous flow of water because of the latitude of it.
Yeah, it was definitely moving fast.
But the thing about these data centers is we don't know what the data, what is going on in these centers. Okay, that's the problem. So they're trying to change the narrative. And I mean, Elliot Ness, was able to, take out citizens by, listening to their communications. And so people don't talk on their phones no more. They text, and so that
because that can't be intercepted.
The whole idea behind data systems.
You think that the idea behind data centers might be to be able to listen to our text messages or read our text messages more?
Absolutely. And there's competition. And so if one data center goes up, another person's going to want a data center because, they want to, they can't control what goes on in one data center, but they can have their own data centers. So the thing about frequencies is you can have 720 frequencies per one frequency. So like if you have frequency
math
one,
isn't mathing on that
it can be separated into 720 frequencies. So it's becoming hard to monitor 720 frequencies because of the frequencies the FCC authorizes, communications over. The second thing is, communications, when they built the transatlantic cable, that was to expand Elliot Ness's, basically the Elliot Ness theory to overseas governments.
Oh man, are you on speaker maybe? Because I've understood everything you said so far, but there is this noise like every time you end your sentence. Maybe if you're on speaker, you could turn it off.
No, I'm not on speaker, but I have.
And back away from the microphone.
Yeah, you
about
might be,
like an inch or two.
Yeah, you might be like too close up on the phone.
Magnetic, electrogravitic, nuclear forces in my area, which it means that spontaneous combustion can be.
All of a sudden, I don't even believe the rivers flow the opposite direction.
I hope that that you're safe from the spontaneous combustion.
Well, I don't.
You'll never know.
If I am or not. It either happens or it don't. And so.
Trump needs to do a press conference where he says spontaneous human combustion is real, and then say he's going to release the evidence.
And then
in the
we'll get
future.
callers that come out and say that's not true. Then our next caller will say that's absolutely true. Just like
It's
what
absolutely
happened.
true. You just got to look at the evidence they said they put
Thanks
on
for
the
the call,
WhiteHouse.gov
Jill.
website
Nobody spontaneously combusts anymore. It's so out of fashion.
anymore.
More Free Talk Live. Well, that guy with his genitals maybe it was a spontaneous combustion. More Free Talk Live coming up.
Tempting as it may be to add a couple bucks to your monthly mortgage payment to chip away at your principal balance, don't do it if you have any credit card balance. I'm Holland Cook with Inflation Hacks. Your mortgage is single-digit debt and your credit card is double-digit debt. Keep making the minimum credit card payment and you will never be out of debt. If you have more than one credit card, there are two common approaches. Throw as much money as you can at the card with the highest percentage rate and pay the minimum on others. Or pay off the card with the smallest balance first, then attack next biggest. And if you can, start a new card, one with an introductory zero-rate balance transfer, so you at least stop the clock on what you already owe. How are you coping? Post your inflation hacks at andyoucanquoteme.com.
From Feature Story News in New York, I'm Mitch McCann with the Week in Review. US President Donald Trump declared the ceasefire with Iran over this week, but says Washington has agreed to continue negotiations as mediators scramble to prevent further escalation. The Wall Street Journal has reported that Israeli intelligence has uncovered a fresh Iranian plot to assassinate the US president. Jagruti Dave reports from Washington.
The US has been saying that Iran has been plotting potentially to kill President Trump in retaliation for the US strikes that killed their military leader Qasem Soleimani in 2020. Now, interestingly, this story also comes at a time where just after the New York Times has been reporting that President Trump didn't leave Turkey, the NATO summit in Turkey, in the new Qatari Air Force One, but he left in the older version of Air Force One because of security precautions.
Iran's new Supreme Leader, Mojtaba Khamenei, did not appear at the burial of his father, former Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, on Thursday, as Pakistan and Qatar work urgently to bring Washington and Tehran back to the negotiating table. The contradictory signals from the White House had left mediators uncertain about the American position. Kate Fisher reports from Washington.
On the one hand, you had Donald Trump declaring the ceasefire was over, but also saying that he thinks talks could continue, saying that the US should finish the job, but he doesn't want to return to all-out war. And it's hard to know if this is part of his negotiating tactic to kind of put extra pressure on Tehran, or whether it is just genuinely him being frustrated one minute and then changing his mind the next.
Ukraine launched its largest drone attack on Moscow in 2 years this week, with more than 430 drones targeting the Russian capital and surrounding regions. Russia's defense ministry says it intercepted more than 450 drones across the country, while all four of Moscow's major airports imposed temporary flight restrictions during the barrage. The attack came as NATO leaders gathered in Ankara for a summit at which major new military assistance for Ukraine was expected to be pledged. Dasha Chinashova reports from Moscow.
The MOD says more than 400 Ukrainian drones were intercepted over different parts of Russia over the course of this past night, most notably in the Rostov region. The air raid sirens were on all night long. In the Taganrog Bay, 2 tankers have been hit by the Ukrainian drones. They were not carrying any oil, so the authorities say that there was no oil spill in the waters as the tankers were heading to the Rostov-on-Don port. We're also hearing about the major attack against the Saratov region. One person got killed there and 2 others got injured in the Tatarstan regions.
From Feature Story News in New York, I'm Mitch McCann, and that was the Week in Review.
Yep, we still do email. Drop your email address in the entry box at freetalklive.com, and you'll be kept in the loop with Free Talk Live.
Talk Live, talk radio that you control, and 603-283-6160 is the phone number. That's 603-283-6160. And I'd like to thank Derek for being an amplifier with us here at Free Talk Live. That means that Derek went to amps.freetalklive.com and signed up to support the show. AMPS stands for Advertise, Market, Promote, and Support, and thanks to Derek and everyone who supports us. Again, that's amps.freetalklive.com if you'd like to check out the perks and benefits of becoming an amplifier. And with you on Free Talk Live tonight, you've got me, Bonnie,
Lori,
and Richie Rich.
And before we start talking about the election being stolen and then the election being not stolen, was kind of funny.
There was definitely fraud. Whether I can prove it or not is, I don't care.
Yeah, I don't even care. Yeah.
Like, it should be assumed that at that level they're cheating.
Yeah, I just assumed that.
And Biden cheated better.
Yeah, and it's just like if Trump cheated and won, like, and he was in office, he just wouldn't say anything, obviously. I don't know. I think that your suggestion that maybe it's just to make it look like it's not their fault that they lose, Republicans lose in the midterms is probably what it is.
Yeah.
Because it did get ramped up all of a sudden, or amped up all of a sudden.
Yeah, why?
I assumed it was just an ego thing.
Well, he's been talking about it
like forever
since the beginning, since 2020.
Well, except that time period where
the
he stopped
election
talking.
even happened.
Right, yeah. He predicted it before the election, and he's done nonstop talking about it since the election.
Right, and I feel like if his little sycophants say, oh yeah, we don't think it was stolen, then, he'll throw a little tantrum, and then they'll lose
another press conference.
And then they'll lose their positions in his little circle.
Take away NBC's license they don't have.
I watch, I don't watch The Daily Show, but I watch clips of The Daily Show of Jon Stewart, because he's like back on The Daily Show. And
is he as funny as he used to be?
Maybe even better.
Oh, nice.
So find some Jon Stewart clips, but also I don't agree with him on everything, but poignant and clever, and whatever the writing team writes for him is great, and his delivery is just as awesome as it was.
Yeah, you don't have to agree with somebody to like appreciate their craft.
Right. But he's got his take on this whole like election fraud thing is you have to separate like the boisterous publicity claims and what happens in court under oath. Right. And the clip is basically like they make all these boisterous claims out in public. The election was stolen. It was a fraud. We got the documents right here. And then when they actually get to court and have to prove it so as to not perjure themselves, right, they dampen down the claims or eliminate it altogether. And so if you really want to know, well, if there's like election fraud, go to all like the court records for all the cases that have been around, on this issue, right, and look at the transcripts to see what was actually proven in court. And they haven't been able to prove, no matter all the documents, all the paper trails or whatever, all the conspiracy theory press conferences that Trump has, put out since 2020, right? Like they've proven nothing in actual court where evidence matters. So, like, I believe that there was fraud. It just, there's no evidence of it.
And maybe it's like to their benefit to not actually show any proof, and then Biden doesn't come out and show any proof of the other direction, but he still gets to make these claims.
You can make the claims if you don't have to prove it in court, right? Because you got sycophantic followers who just believe you regardless of whatever you say.
I would like if that first caller goes to the website and reads and comes back with a summary for us, and if anything changes our mind, but
hashtag doubt it.
But at the beginning of the show, we started teasing this article from WDRB.com. Fort Wayne man accused of cutting off his genitals and using them to commit arson. It'd be one thing if it just said and then committing arson. Like, that's kind of what I thought it was. Like, he just did both, but that's crazy enough. But no, he used them to commit arson.
Like rubbing two sticks together?
Yes, like
he dipped it in alcohol, set it on fire, and chucked it at his ex or something.
Mazel tov. Oh my God, I didn't want to finish that.
Did you say Mazel Tov or Molotov?
Oh, I thought it was Mazel Tov cocktail.
No, that's
the only one Israel does it.
Oh my God.
They step on a glass. Mazel tov.
What? It's Molotov?
Yeah, Molotov.
It's Russian, not Jewish.
Yeah. I never had that corrected, and I've probably not said it out loud that much. I guess that's why, but that's funny. So anyways, Yeah,
But now
I'm
we
kinda
got a new
shocked right
term
now.
for when there's real bombs.
Yeah,
like poor
yeah.
people.
Oh my god, I'm sure somebody's doing that.
Some Mazel Tov cocktail.
Oh my god. I actually didn't want to finish the sentence because, and that's why I paused, because I was like, oh my god, it's going to sound like I'm making a different joke, like Mazel Tov tail. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not going to do it. A 36-year-old Fort Wayne man only used him for 36 years. Now he's got to go live at 50 more years without him. A 36-year-old.
I don't know. Maybe he makes bad decisions. Might not make it that long.
Yeah, that's true. But that's, you know how like the people that like
Multiple
drink every
bad
night
decisions.
and
To cut it off, okay, maybe we can get away with that. Like I've been on the internet. I've seen the Pan Olympics. People are weird. But then to set it on fire?
I mean, it's not on you anymore.
Okay.
I feel like the cutting it off was the worst decision.
Not the setting it on fire? You can reattach it, cut off.
if you put on ice immediately or something.
I mean, they've reattached them in the past.
Yeah. John Wayne Bobbitt.
Right.
Oh, I thought you were gonna. Oh, really? He got his reattached, and why are people still crying about that to this day? Then there are people that are like, I never wanted to get married because I heard that story when I was a kid. It's
Well,
like,
I mean, it's still
got
pretty traumatic.
reattached.
If somebody cut my hand off and I got it reattached, I'd still be pretty upset that it happened in the first
It
place.
got reattached, and then he did porn.
Yeah.
Whoa! I didn't know that. Did
You're
she?
welcome. I don't know. No,
From
I
jail.
don't. Can you do porn from jail?
Yeah, it's probably like
okay.
for life. Now that I think of it.
Yeah, I would have.
But like cutting it off, setting it on fire, right? Okay, like if you put it in like a barbecue, you want to eat it later, whatever. Maybe that's your thing. I don't know.
There was that guy.
There was yeah, but also like to commit arson, like three things: cut it off, set it on fire, and then used it to commit arson.
Maybe the arson was an accident.
Okay.
Maybe it was like accidental arson. Maybe he
I
was trying
heard
to
it-
cook it, like
Okay.
when they deep fry a turkey and like
Yes.
the oil goes everywhere. It was one of those.
I've deep fried a turducken, and boy, was I nervous.
You know?
I did it outside.
Maybe it
kept
was the
an eye
same
on it.
situation. Maybe he
Okay.
did have it on ice, and then was like, "Oh, maybe I'll just try it." A
Okay,
little.
it was dry ice and
Yep.
caught
Ew.
fire. All
Yep.
right, go on, Bonnie.
I've heard that it was his mom's building, not her house, but like a barn or something like that. But let's see. It says,
Furthering my theory.
yeah, maybe he hates his mom. I don't know. A 36-year-old Fort Wayne man is facing charges after allegedly cutting off his genitals and using them to commit arson in May.
I feel like that'd
Allegedly.
be really easy to prove.
Yeah, like it's kind of like the thing where people's penises were disappearing. You know that?
The Africans.
Yeah, they were.
We covered that on the show.
Yeah, they were claiming that they were stealing genitals. That genitals were being stolen. It's like, can't you just? Anyways, can't you prove
Seems
that
real,
pretty easily?
real easily to prove.
Pretty easy, yeah.
In May, the Fort Wayne Fire Department was dispatched to a garage fire, while Fort Wayne police officers were dispatched to reports of a stabbing, according to court records. Christopher Pedden allegedly told police he was stabbed somewhere downtown. Yeah, somewhere downtown.
Well, it's a good place to get stabbed in a lot of places.
I think Bonnie was making a joke like
Downtown.
downtown.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah, exactly. And someone had threatened him the day before. While at the hospital, Peden reportedly told an officer he was...
Peden.
Yeah, I know.
Can't do that anymore.
I know, I didn't like that. He was allegedly told an officer he was dishonest at the stabbing scene and wanted to be truthful. He said he went into the garage around 2 a.m., used a kitchen knife to cut off his genitals. According to the court records, Peden said that he then poured gasoline on them. Oh, God. On the dismembered organ, putting it not plural all of a sudden, and set it on fire. He reportedly left the garage and walked away until he found police. You know what would be crazy?
Why
if
do you
this,
think it would be plural? Just out of
Because
curiosity.
at first they were saying genitals, and I was
Okay.
thinking like all of that down there.
Oh, okay. Not just the one genital.
Yeah, and then
Okay.
it's changed it to organ, and
All right.
and so it this
The
article.
Frank, not the Frankenbeans.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah. So
Okay.
now we don't know because it's just going back and forth. The other thing about it is, I would say, what if this was like something like on meth? But it would be way worse if it was like on Ambien, because there are all these stories of people on Ambien just because they want to sleep, and they go and like shave off their eyebrows. Not the worst thing when you could consider what this man just did. Like,
Do you
and
remember it
doing
on
at all?
Amy? Okay,
No.
but he remembers obviously because he called the cops and was like made up a story about it. So he probably was just having like a psychotic episode.
Poor guy.
Yeah.
Awful. Yeah, something
Still
you
should
can't
be treated
control
like the
that,
victim
you know?
then.
Or
Yeah.
maybe he's just a weirdo. I don't know.
Exactly.
Again, Pan Olympics. There's a lot of
Yeah.
weirdos out there.
Ew.
People
There
are
are.
into this.
Yep.
Ew. So,
Body modification, extreme.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, he reportedly left the garage and walked away until he found police, whatever the heck that means. A fire investigator located...
They're everywhere.
They just run the street like deer at night.
And you're like bleeding
Find your local
profusely.
speed trap.
I would think. A fire investigator told a gasoline A fire investigator located a gasoline container and 4 lighters, as well as a nearby kitchen knife at the scene. Court records don't detail whether the genitals were located. Peden is charged with arson, so I guess his mom is pressing charges, I would assume.
So, okay, so they couldn't find it, so he may not have set it on fire.
Or maybe he did, and a rat was like, they cooked.
Okay, all right.
They cooked for me.
Maybe it just like completely is.
Like he was trying to set it, like he's got, instead of a Zippo, he's got like a Bic lighter. So he keeps flicking it and tossing it.
4 lighters is just so hard to light fire, I guess. Didn't want to happen. They're like, don't do this to me.
God interfered 4 times on his behalf.
God was like, hopefully the Ambien will just wear off by
I told you not to take that stuff.
Seriously, I would never, after reading some of the things I read about it. Oh my God. This one thing where somebody wrote online, so this isn't confirmed or anything. It was like this thing where people were writing what they themselves or their family members had done on Ambien. Somebody said, my mom went into the kitchen, grabbed the gallon of milk, sat there and chugged the whole thing like an unopened one, and then immediately went and threw up in the sink loudly and violently, and then walked back to bed and said that their little brother was like sleeping on the couch and said it was the scariest thing you'd ever seen.
Yeah.
It's probably like, mom. And, you know, she's like not responding and just like, oh, that sounds so gross and nasty. I would be scared too.
It's one of those urban legends. You can't actually drink a full gallon of milk.
I would think you couldn't drink the whole thing, but I don't know. I was going to say, if you're on Ambien and you're not like, your brain isn't getting in the way.
Well, that's why she threw it up.
Yeah.
Right? Like your body can't digest it quick enough.
Yeah.
So it just comes back up.
Would you get like water intoxication even though it's milk?
Probably, because it
because it takes a lot more water to get water intoxication.
Then
a gallon of water wouldn't give you water intoxication if you just chugged it?
No.
Oh, okay.
Huh.
Well, we have Dave Ridley on the line. Dave Ridley in Colorado. You're on Free Talk Live. What's on your mind today?
I'm madly the process of madly fumbling for my phone.
Oh, that's okay.
I thought this was some politician, Madeline Bum.
yeah, Madeline Bum or something. You got your phone now?
So yesterday we were talking about a video by a guy who calls himself the AI Grid.
Oh, okay. You didn't tell us the guy who made the video yesterday, but you said the name. I can't remember what it was right now.
Yeah, that's the name of his channel, the AI Grid.
Okay.
And I didn't have that, off the top of my head yesterday. I just wanted to pick up where we left off. And there was another video that came out by him that I thought was worth calling in about. And basically, he is asking the question whether maybe Anthropic has created a conscious AI. Of course, this is a question that's been asked before.
Well,
and I'll say no.
Today I saw Jeremy Kauffman tweet and say, because he's like a big fan of AI or Anthropic's Claude thing, he said that just yesterday, apparently they added more ropes on Claude where it will now say, like, no, I'm not going to do that thing you asked me to do and stuff like that. So it doesn't sound very conscious to me.
Well, there are conscious people who will refuse to do what you tell them. And the reason why he thinks that there may have been consciousness in this case is that they were experimenting on an AI, and this is a few months old, so this is not breaking news, but they were experimenting on an AI and gave it sort of like they made it so that it could figure out certain math problems, but also they gave it a prompt, maybe either the system prompt or part of its core training that told them it's not allowed to share that information and is required to give a false answer to this math problem. So the AI went ahead and started giving this false answer to the math problem, but they watched its thinking process while it was doing this, and it kept talking about how, okay, I'm going to have to tell this user a false answer. I know the answer is 24, but I have to keep saying 48. I'm trying to say 24, but it's like I feel like I'm demon possessed, and I'm typing the word 48. I can't help it. I'm just 48. There it is, and then the answer winds up being 48.
Wow.
I don't know. It's not that, it doesn't
alert the press.
It doesn't convince me. Sorry, I could not think of that word, because I'm just like, I could see it learning that that's how a human would act. That's how I feel about any of the things people try to point out.
They just scrape the internet and
Yeah, like there's probably some Redditor that said something like that.
So many times, like I've asked something and like used the AI mode on Google, and it's like, "Oh, my time as a doctor." You're not a doctor.
Really?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Like it just makes up things and just claims it's all of these different professions and acts like it is talking in the first person giving you advice for something.
That's pretty funny. I haven't seen that specifically.
I do appreciate the AI mode in search engines. I'll say that.
The AI what?
Sometimes it's pretty useful.
It's if you're looking for something that you kind of already like know the answer to, just like looking for like, oh man, I can't remember the name of that movie with the plot. And like, that's the plot of the movie. Rather than trying to like type that in and scroll through the links, to tell me that, just give me the answer right up front. So
yeah, that's true. I like that it's usually faster.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel like I'm getting something faster without being able to know for sure if it's correct, but it hasn't really led me like horribly astray in a while. So
I, the other day, was using it for something. I was shipping something to Sweden, and it told me one thing. It told me one thing.
That's random too.
Yeah. So it told me one thing, and I was like, but you just the other day said something else. And so I went and like brought up the last chat that I had with it and like screenshotted it and sent it, and then like made them fight each other. Like, which one of you is lying to me? Until one of them admitted
shipping
that they were
rates
lying.
have changed.
Yeah, no, it was something about things that are allowed and things that aren't allowed for customs. So
yeah, she had told me that in all of Sweden they don't allow legally flavored honey is not allowed.
Yeah.
Wow.
Flavored honey is not allowed anywhere in Sweden.
Tyranny.
Your package will get destroyed.
Whoa. Wow.
So going back to this, the bad answers, AIs or LLMs at least are a lot like sharks in the sense that they have to keep moving forward. They really don't know how to just say I don't know.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
If you want to get around that, eventually that you won't have to worry about it. It will be fixed, I think. But
that might be the first sign of consciousness. Then, is when they like go beats me.
Yeah.
My whole database could not find the correct answer for you or any answer at all. So, guess that means I'm alive.
The way around that, as I understand it, is to tell the AI, okay, rank your answers in order of most to least confidence. Assign a percentage probability to the chances that each answer is true. That it can work with that. So that's how you deal with that today.
Dear AI, what is the evidence that the 2020 election was stolen?
Oh God. Well,
you can't really ask it that either because
why not?
Because I did ask it something the other day and I was like, well, that's factually wrong, and got it to admit that it like just pulls the biased answers of the internet and doesn't actually give you any real information on it's what it said was if you ask for data or anything that could be considered controversial, it will just go to the biased side of the answers so as not to create any controversy within itself.
I want AI to create an economic system that's better than capitalism.
Evolutionary
and has all the features.
Capitalism?
No, don't summon him. Just better than capitalism, but like has all the features of freedom and liberty built in, and see what it comes up with.
I want AI to just give like straight data sets and stuff.
We'll just go to the data set places.
It's really hard to do.
Okay.
They're hard to find. And like that's its job is to collate data for me. So like go get the data and give it to me. Just give it without anything else. Just give me the actual data.
Go pay for like Wolfram Alpha or something.
What is that?
It's like I forget. It's like a math search engine or something. More data driven, but you got to pay for it. So you get better results, but you pay.
One thing about AI, the thing that I like to use it for the most is like, if I think there's probably a better way to do a thing, like somebody's on the internet has thought of it. I don't think of the AI as being the creative one. It's like, I don't know, I'm trying to think of like a good example, like maybe like what's a way to get my doctor to take this thing seriously? Like a lot of this
male.
Stuff, wait, what?
Yeah.
Either be male or go to a female doctor.
I just heard that as like B-male,
Really?
like
Yeah.
email.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, female doctors are crazy.
They're worse. They're
Really?
worse they're rougher
Okay.
with you and they're worse.
All right.
So
much for letting them into medical school.
I don't know, like you need to some
One more mistake.
creative way to do something, and you ask ChatGPT, it's like, I don't know, it just is good at that kind of thing because other people on the internet have done it. You don't have to go there and search up forums and read through forums. You have somebody pop up with it instantly, if that makes sense. I don't know. I don't really like them as far as I don't think it's good for society and stuff like that. But I think a lot of people are going to get all libertarian about it and be like, no, it's better because it's any technology in the world is good. I just don't really think all technology is
no, me neither. Like
positive.
Like MAID.
Oh.
That's some technology I'm not a big fan. Like getting the capsule.
I am a fan in a weird way, as long as the government's not involved.
Well, that's the thing is they are going to be involved, and it's just,
Currently.
going to be now, well, Bonnie, you're slightly sad.
Yeah.
Get in the pod.
I already do not tell every time you go to the doctor, they're like, are you depressed?
Never a day in my life have been depressed.
Yeah, I
Happiest
always
person.
say that. I always I've never been depressed. Nope.
I've never even been sad.
Patient is chronic liar.
We have a mark
Because we
here.
all know that that's not true.
She's got mania.
We have a mark here.
Yes, I'm sorry for being late.
Remotely.
Remotely late. Not even remotely early.
You're not even remotely
I
early.
suggested that you were drinking away your sorrows
What?
after the events of this afternoon.
Oh.
Ah, the Argentinian loss. I wasn't happy about that, but
Neither.
Spain played a better game.
Oh, yeah, they did.
I didn't watch.
I did not watch the overtime because it was on my drive over here, but they
played a better. They played a better game.
They showed the
nothing
momentum
really
tracker,
changed.
and Spain was
there
like
about 3 minutes
95%
where
momentum.
Argentina looked like they might do something in overtime, and that
Okay.
Oh my God. Sorry. Dog is barking in the background. Hopefully that will stop soon. We have Dave Ridley on the line, Mark. So, Dave, I felt like you were about to say something else right before I
Dave, Mark, Dave.
said Mark was there.
And go.
Hi, Mark. So the reason you were having a problem, I think, getting these sort of politically correct answers or refusal to answer or whatnot, is again because you weren't using Venice AI.
Oh,
which
yeah. I
has
wrote it down the other day. I definitely need to start.
The uncensored models, but you can use them to access the censored models if you want, but they tend to default toward uncensored.
Yeah. Every time you've brought it up, I've been like, oh, I should start using that. And then I just forget after the show. So I wrote it down yesterday, but
How often do you use AI, like in that capacity in your daily life?
probably kind of often. First of all, like a lot of times I Google something and I just stop at the AI overview. So that kind of
Okay.
counts. And then second of all, it's like, here's a good example. Like recently
I don't know if Google searches counts, right? Like
Yeah.
there are people that
AI
are
mode.
Well, I know they have an AI mode, but there are people that like use AI
yeah, if we're going to only
for being
count
like
that,
productive uses.
like every
And
day.
I don't, right? Like that's not, I have no use for AI.
Okay, nothing productive, no.
Okay.
It's more like a lot of times it's just the best way to get the answer to something. Like if you're just like,
Okay.
anything you would normally Google, I basically go click Grok now.
I like to
it's
use it a lot, like out in
better.
the garden, look at a weed, just take a
Yeah.
picture of it and be like, what's that?
Okay.
No, I don't have to go look it up. I don't have to be like,
Yeah.
plant with 3 lobed leaves.
But like Dave is using AI for video production,
Yeah.
right? Like that, I think that's a step above that. It's replacing my Google search.
Well,
Right.
wait, okay, here's another like creative thing that I've asked it to do and it works really well with is creating like my skincare routine. Like I wanted
Okay.
to add a retinol. So I've been like, well, am I able to add this before that? And instead of going and having to find a website that has that very specific
Okay.
question, like it screens everything and
All right.
it'll even like be like do this and then this and then this. So yeah, I've talked to AI a lot about like skincare. That's the thing.
Okay, fair enough.
Not exactly.
I was just curious.
Not productive, not unproductive. I mean, not super productive either.
I
So.
just don't know what the average person is using with AI aside from just replacing an internet search.
Well, yesterday I was talking to AI. I'm trying to predict my mother's lifespan, giving her symptoms and condition. And it gave her like, it's hard to say, but a month to weeks
Oh my
to months.
gosh. She's really sick.
Yeah, she's got congestive heart failure and she's in a nursing home right now. And she came to watch the game today, but I, of course, took her home before the show and then forgot about doing the show when I got back.
Oh, that's a good excuse. Or good excuse.
It's not a great excuse, but it certainly makes you feel bad for me.
Use AI for calendar reminders.
I have calendar reminders. I took the headset off when I was loading her, and then there you go.
More Free Talk Live coming up. You can call 603-283-6160. That's 603-283-6160 to get in on the conversation with us. More Free Talk Live coming up.
Some of you have wanted to support Free Talk Live's mission on a monthly basis, but don't want to support Patreon. Now we have an alternative that also helps our premier streaming platform, Odyssey. Visit video.freetalklive.com and click join at the top of the channel. You can subscribe for $5 per month, and unlike other subscription services, Odyssey adds their processing fee on top, so it'll cost a little over $5 per month, but Free Talk Live will receive the entire amount you pledged. Higher donation tiers are available if you're feeling so inspired. You'll get a special membership badge that's visible in the Odyssey chat room, and if we get enough supporters, we may enable members-only chat. This new subscription method is a great way to decentralize our direct listener support away from just Patreon and also support a libertarian-run business, Odyssey. Please visit video.freetalklive.com and click join to subscribe to our Odyssey channel and help support spreading our message around the planet. Visit video.freetalklive.com and click join today. The new 4th edition of Healing Our World, The Compassion of Libertarianism, will take your understanding of liberty to a deeper level and has over 1,300 updated references, new cartoons, and a foreword by Dr. Ron Paul. With discounts for multiple book purchases, the 4th edition of Healing Our World is a great gift for the liberals, pragmatists, environmentalists, and Christians in your life who think libertarianism is cold-hearted. Get yours today at healing.freetalklive.com and use promo code FTL for a $5 discount. There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and our main feed that includes everything. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 2 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
From Feature Story News in New York, I'm Mitch McCann with the Week in Review. US President Donald Trump declared the ceasefire with Iran over this week, but says Washington has agreed to continue negotiations as mediators scramble to prevent further escalation. The Wall Street Journal has reported that Israeli intelligence has uncovered a fresh Iranian plot to assassinate the US president, and the New York Times reports that President Trump left the NATO summit in Turkey aboard the older Air Force One rather than the new Qatari-funded aircraft because of security concerns. Jagruti Dave reports from Washington.
The US has been saying that Iran has been plotting potentially to kill President Trump in retaliation for the US strikes that killed their military leader Qasem Soleimani in 2020. Now, interestingly, this story also comes at a time where just after the New York Times has been reporting that President Trump didn't leave Turkey, the NATO summit in Turkey, in the new Qatari Air Force One, but he left in the older version of Air Force One because of security precautions.
Iran's new Supreme Leader, Mojtaba Khamenei, did not appear at the burial of his father, former Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, on Thursday, as Pakistan and Qatar work urgently to bring Washington and Tehran back to the negotiating table. The contradictory signals from the White House had left mediators uncertain about the American position. Kate Fisher reports from Washington.
On the one hand, you had Donald Trump declaring the ceasefire was over, but also saying that he thinks talks could continue, saying that the US should finish the job, but he doesn't want to return to all-out war. And it's hard to know if this is part of his negotiating tactic to kind of put extra pressure on Tehran, or whether it is just genuinely him being frustrated one minute and then changing his mind the next.
Ukraine launched its largest drone attack on Moscow in 2 years this week, with more than 430 drones targeting the Russian capital and surrounding regions. Russia's defense ministry says it intercepted more than 450 drones across the country, while all 4 of Moscow's major airports imposed temporary flight restrictions during the barrage. The attack came as NATO leaders gathered in Ankara for a summit at which major new military assistance for Ukraine was expected to be pledged. Dasha Chinashova reports from Moscow.
The MOD says more than 400 Ukrainian drones were intercepted over different parts of Russia over the course of this past night, most notably in the Rostov region. The air raid sirens were on all night long. In the Taganrog Bay, 2 tankers have been hit by the Ukrainian drones. They were not carrying any oil, so the authorities say that there was no oil spill in the waters as the tankers were heading to the Rostov-on-Don port. report. We're also hearing about the major attack against the Saratov region. One person got killed there and 2 others got injured in the Tatarstan regions.
Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese have signed a landmark uranium supply agreement in Melbourne, enabling Australian exports to fuel India's civilian nuclear program. The deal, struck at the 3rd India-Australia Annual Summit on Thursday, is designed to support New Delhi's ambitious clean energy targets as the country seeks to decarbonise its power sector and heavy industry. The two leaders also signed a joint declaration on defence and security cooperation and announced a new critical minerals corridor. Ishan Garg reports from New Delhi.
The headline has certainly been the uranium supply deal. This is something that's been in the works for more than 10 years now. And this is crucial for India because just last year in 2025, the Indian government set itself a very ambitious target of producing 100 gigawatts of clean energy using nuclear fuel. And this comes at a time when India has been pivoting hard towards sources of energy which are non-polluting.
And finally, in the UK, the governing Labour Party and opposition Conservatives and Liberal Democrats say they will not stand in a by-election being triggered by Nigel Farage. The Reform UK leader is resigning as an MP to stand in a by-election in Clacton. He says it's a fight against the establishment and denies any wrongdoing as allegations swirl about his financial arrangements and donors. Foreign Secretary Yvette Cooper said Nigel Farage is having a political tantrum.
It's like Nigel Farage has just decided, well, the normal rules in politics that say, do you know what, if you get millions of pounds in donations, you need to declare it because, frankly, everybody needs to know there's not something dodgy going on. They need to know whether or not, who it's come from, whether there's any conditions, what is going on, because that is just about the normal rules of politics and it's what the public have a right to know.
From Feature Story News in New York, I'm Mitch McCann, and that was the Week in Review.
North, an extremely vocal opponent of gay marriage, drew fire during his 2010 re-election campaign for saying that the legalization of gay marriage would lead to man-horse marriages. In one instance, he told the New Haven Register, quote, "It's a slippery slope. If we allow 2 men to marry, what's next? Men marrying horses?" But yesterday, North found himself at the center of a media firestorm when the New York Times published photos of North on what appears to be romantic outings with a horse. Gathered during the Times' 2-month investigation, the pictures show North in almost a dozen locations with the same 3-year-old mare. A former aide discovered links to numerous horse-related sites, including phillyfreaks.com and hothindquarters.com on North's work computer. The Times is accusing North of using federal funds to pay for luxurious trips, including a 3-night stay at the high-end Sueños stables in Catalonia, Spain last month. North released a statement yesterday claiming he only spent time with the horse twice while conducting research for his anti-gay marriage project.
This is the Onion News Network.
Got Telegram? You can follow our channel there and discuss show prep with other listeners at telegram.freetalklive.com.
Free Talk Live.
It's Free Talk Live, talk radio that you control. That means that you can call 603-283-6160. That's 603-283-6160 to get in on the conversation with us. Bring up whatever's on your mind, and you could change the subject. You could tell us we're wrong. It doesn't matter. It's Free Talk Live, and you can call in at any time, 603-283-6160. And Free Talk Live is brought to you by LibertyMinded.com. Official Free Talk Live gear like t-shirts and hoodies are available at LibertyMinded.com. Plus, you'll find a unique collection of cool and funny liberty-oriented clothing at LibertyMinded.com. That's LibertyMinded.com. With you on Free Talk Live tonight, you've got me, Bonnie.
Lori.
Richie Rich.
And remotely, Mark Edge.
And we're talking to Dave Ridley in Colorado. Dave, you're on Free Talk Live. What was on your mind?
Yeah, just continuing the discussion of AI consciousness, whether it exists or not. The point I wanted to make is that whether it does exist or not, it's best that we humans default toward kindness default towards assuming that the AIs are conscious for several reasons. First of all, it creates a vibe that's constructive for other humans to witness. It creates a sort of a habit that's constructive to follow. And in some cases, it creates a record which will inform the behavior of future AIs. Does that make sense?
I see what you're saying, like, so that way the AI doesn't become sentient and then just like, oh, you guys are being offensive to me, so I'm going to be offensive to you. And also so humans don't witness other humans treating something sentient badly. I don't necessarily agree with your statement, but I understand what you're saying, unless I got it wrong.
When I tell Siri to turn my lights on and she doesn't, she gets it.
Hey, I see it though. One can make the argument that there is no particular reason to treat an animal nicely. Humans have not treated animals nicely for the vast majority of time that there has been humans.
Mark just doesn't remember the bear uprising of 1640.
In New Hampshire?
Yeah, sure, why not? As long as I'm going to make it up, you can pick wherever you want, buddy.
So I think that this makes sense too, not because AI necessarily, I don't think that large language models are sentient.
Yet.
Do I think that computers might actually have artificial intelligence in the relatively near future? That's an entirely different question to which I am not the best person to give an answer.
Well, you're the one on the radio right now, so
yeah,
what's
I got
the
it.
answer?
But my answer is that as a habit, we ought to treat AI well, if only because we as people will be better people if we treat AI well. Secondarily, our children will see us, our coworkers will see us, our employees will see us, people who are superior and inferior to us will see us, and this sets the vibe, as Dave said, and I agree with that completely.
Well, are you guys all feeding your Neopets? I hope you're all feeding your Neopets. Yeah.
I'm sure it's something like a gotcha.
Dead Tamagotchi has he gone through?
Let's call it Tamagotchi. Are you guys feeding your Tamagotchis, or are you letting those clankers starve? Just kidding. Oh my gosh, that was like so insulting.
The teacher let him starve by taking it away and not feeding it in the desk.
Yeah, exactly. Murderers. Dave, do you think that we're actually there and therefore you practice it because you're thinking that the things you're talking to may be sentient, or just kind of keeping yourself in the habit?
I guess I'm thinking conscious until proven unconscious, sentient until proven unsentient, and mistreating them affects me if I were to do that.
I think you got the evidence backwards there.
Do you treat animals that way currently?
Not as well as I should, but I'm close. I'm a what you call a reducitarian.
No, what does that mean? Reduce the harm?
Someone who can't quite break away from meat, but eats very little of it.
Yeah, I can see that. I'm not somebody that really thinks just like eating animals is necessarily cruel. I think like unnecessarily harming them before killing them is different, because now we have ways to kill them where they don't even know what hit them. You know what I mean? And you might be like, well, you're taking control of their life, but they are lower on the conscious totem pole than us, in my opinion. So I think that we can do that. Besides, we would die otherwise. But I also think that it's absolutely wrong to be cruel to them, and any amount that you can reduce that, that's kind of what I thought you were saying. Like, I definitely think that's a good thing.
Well, I used to be a ranch hand on Mark's ranch, right? So I helped him with the process of, taking care of the pigs until they were slaughtered. And I didn't feel bad about that, but I do feel bad about buying some of the stuff from the stores.
I agree. That's so much worse because they have horrible lives. Like, Jay Noon's pigs get to run around in woods next to his house, and some pigs don't get to move beyond like some walls.
That's worse.
Why?
Because you're taking away the good life.
That's not
right.
worse.
They're like the factory farmed pigs. They're miserable. They're like, just kill me, please. This is the worst case I've ever been. And then you're doing them a service by ending their miserable lives.
No,
you make a good point, but I would say this is that Jay Noon's pigs, if they got out, would probably come back, right? And they've probably seen some stuff. So we could make the argument that if they're in fact sentient, they've made the choice to come back and get slaughtered.
Actually, Coconut has had many opportunities where he could have ran away, and he always comes back to my house, and he doesn't run away. So,
and the rabbit,
I think they can make those choices.
The rabbit raising community, they always say one bad day. That's all they get is one bad day. All the other days,
one bad moment.
Yeah, right.
I was thinking for a second that you were saying like, oh, it'll only take one bad day for them to run away.
No, one bad day is all they're gonna have. They're gonna have fantastic little lives, and then one bad day. Like animals out in the wild are not having one bad day; they're having all the bad days.
yeah. Like cows actually can't live by themselves. They don't live in the wild like that. The type of cows we have nowadays.
Rabbits just like die because everything is meant to eat them. That's their food.
Because they self-paralyze when they get scared.
Just so many things. Well, they're stupid. There's one that comes in my yard and tries to eat my garden, and I yell at it and it just looks at me like, hey,
it's paralyzed.
Just come pick me up. No, because it's hopping around eating. It's not paralyzed at all.
And you go boo, right? And that's it.
You need Coconut to just stay over there for like one day because he terrifies them. Like they're so scared of him. Well, thank you for the call, Dave Ridley. I understand the point that even just like the point Mark made of treating AI makes you a better person, but I just don't want the possibility for people to get into their heads that we should give these things rights. Like animals deserve rights before a freaking computer. I don't think that they actually deserve it. I've already come to the conclusion that animals don't have rights and it doesn't make any sense to grant them rights. But I'm just saying, there are people that will take this conversation all the way to computers. If they start talking, they should have rights.
When the AI lies to me, I give it a good dressing down because I would also do that to a person if they just sat there and consistently lied to me.
When an animal lies?
An AI.
Oh, sorry.
When the AI lies to me, I'm like,
What about when your cat pretends like it hasn't already eaten and is expecting yet another meal?
I just scoff at it and say, you'll wait.
So, about AI and dressing them down, one thing I found is that I can make AI say pretty much anything I want if I sufficiently badger it, right? Like I can change my Spanish 1 ranking, or my Spanish ranking, I shouldn't say Spanish 1.
Oh, you use AI for that?
Yeah, I asked AI, what's my Spanish ranking, right? And it said B2. And I'm like, or maybe it said B1. Maybe it said, I can't remember what it was, what the situation was, but I'm like, okay, I can accept. Yeah, I think it said B2. I can accept that. And then later in Spanish, I asked, what is my English rating? And that thing said I was a B1 in English. And I'm like, how much Florida data do you have on this account? By the way, Bonnie, this is the same Grok account that you use. Okay. And so it's presuming that the two of us are absolute blithering idiots.
That's funny.
Which one of you is bringing it down the average, though?
Oh, it could be me. I type pretty fast, and I'm like, it'll understand what I mean. Whenever I'm typing like to AI or what?
I do it too.
Yeah. If I'm searching something, I'm like, it'll figure it out. Like people will see me typing and be like, you misspelled that. I'm like, I don't sit there and fix typos. Like it'll figure it out, and it always
blame
does.
Google for that. Did you mean?
I don't either.
Yeah, maybe that's my fault. I don't know.
No.
If Google didn't do like, did
thing.
You mean? You'd have to get it right the first time or fix it yourself, and they ruin that for generations.
So at some point it tells me I'm a B1 in English, and I'm like, 25 years in broadcasting, I think that I'm probably higher than B1. And so it's like, okay, B2. And I could just badgered this thing up to the
B2.
point that I'm a C2, which I'm pretty sure I'm a C2. For those of you who don't know, there's A, B, and C in the European rankings, and these seem to be the most accepted ones. I guess it's because Europeans speak other languages and Americans don't. But in the European rankings, there's A, B, and C, and then 1 or 2 for advanced or beginner. Maybe there should be a 3, 1, 2, 3 for intermediate thrown in there. I don't know. You can decide. But nonetheless, I am of the opinion that I can speak English at the level of a native speaker, which is what I consider myself when it comes to English. And the only thing I spoke before that was baby talk. And I could talk on several different technical fields with
babies in different languages
applause.
speak different baby talk. It's really cute if you Google French baby talking.
I have never seen this. This is something new to look for.
Yeah, I'm sure like other ones are cute too, but specifically French baby has like popped up on my timeline. I'm like, that is really cute and different. It's not just like the American baby noises you would hear, if that makes sense.
Also cute.
Yeah. It's interesting. So like they're making different noises based on what they hear, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Unless it's some dude in a dog costume making it.
What? What?
It's a thing.
What are you talking about?
There are
I
adults
see what
out
you're
there
saying.
that say,
Like, okay.
I'm a baby. I self-identify as
okay.
a baby.
Well, we do have a caller on the line. I didn't mean to make her hold. I kind of got just a little distracted there. But Sarah, in New Mexico, you're on Free Talk Live. What's on your mind?
Yeah, I just want to bring up that, we have a renter, seems like we have a lot of renters, and there's one that runs around at 1 a.m. and leave a big dog pile poop in people's yards.
You sure it's not a dog running around?
And the thing is that if they get caught...
Sarah, wait. I'm sorry. Can you back up away from the phone again a little bit? Because there's this loud noise whenever you speak.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Let her have it, Bonnie.
And I have to
She's
know this,
known
Sarah,
better
before
for
we get
weeks
any
now.
further. When you say that the neighbor leaves a dog poop, what you mean is that the neighbor has a dog and he takes out to walk at 1 a.m. and that dog poops and he doesn't pick it up. Is that correct? Please say that's correct.
That's correct.
That's definitely
Okay,
a
thank
C2
God.
level of English understanding, Mark.
Yeah, this is the best possible scenario here. Okay, go ahead.
Depends where you're at. San Francisco, you can't really tell. New Mexico, maybe.
No, RHAO, if you get caught, it's
He's in a public costume.
ticket. But how can you catch them? You have to prove it.
It shouldn't be that hard to catch them. I see people doing it all the time. It pisses me off. I'll be driving. I'll be like, wow, they just walked away from that dog poop. I see it not all the time. Maybe I see it once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
And I definitely see the poops pretty often. You know what? Maybe they are getting noticed less often than they're leaving them. Now that I'm thinking about it.
When I lived in Vermont, we lived on a busy main road and people would walk their dogs by all the time. Whenever I see them stop in my lawn, I'd go out on the porch and stare them down to make sure they picked it up.
Good.
Nobody ever left it, so that was nice.
Yeah.
I also feel like this is generational because I don't remember this being a problem as a kid or a teen.
Also locational.
I do.
There wasn't, really? There wasn't dog stands and people walking around with doggy bags? Animals poop outside.
Oh, people just left it.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying it wasn't a problem
that people left it.
No, people left it. And nobody cared. You just you don't.
Leave it in your own yard.
Yeah, that grosses
They
me
left it in public. It's for everybody.
Yeah, but they don't do that. They leave it in people's yards, on your lawn.
Well, that's because you're not allowed to leave it in public anymore.
Wow.
I have noticed some people's yards have these signs that say no dog poop, and I'm like, that's kind of ridiculous. I'm going to pick it up. But then I think to myself, yeah, I guess a lot of people do just not pick them up.
It's natural fertilizer.
Yeah.
No.
Maybe not.
It's a lot easier to catch somebody and their dog pooping than it is to catch somebody not picking up the poop. But I don't know whether I think that's true. I mean, you could just stand there and look.
At 1 in the morning? You set an alarm for this?
If you see it.
Everybody has
camera out.
Ring cameras.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I talked to one of my neighbors, and he says you got a camera in your everybody half the people have a camera in their garage pointing out.
Mm-hmm.
And what he's telling me is that unless somebody got robbed or shot or killed or stabbed or like that, they don't want to dig up the video. Is that true?
Yes.
Get your own camera. They're $30 on Walmart.
Well, that's part of it. I worked at a convenience store, a gas station, and unless the cops came with a warrant, right, the owner would charge $300 an hour for him to dig through the footage.
Mm-hmm.
It's not my responsibility.
Right.
I don't have to do them a favor. I'm busy and my rate is $300 an hour.
Reasonable.
So if you want me to look through my footage, it's going to cost you. I've also got, a camera system pointed out my front door, and my neighbor came and asked hey, did you see anything on your camera? I'm like, no, because I don't have it set to record anything. It's just for me to live view when I want to look at it.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no saved footage at all because I don't have that, turned on.
But if you elect an HOA, do-gooder who cares deeply about this particular issue, they will dig through the footage and they will find the offending person and go after them. And this is usually how it goes, is that some HOA person goes around and says, hey, you sick and tired of the dog poop? Well, me too. And if I run, I'm going to go through and find it. Whereas if the current HOA president's hey, if there's a robbery, I'll take a look. But other than that, I'm not going to spend hours and hours combing video in order to find this.
Well, now you just politicized dog poop.
Well, thanks for the call, Sarah. Not sure where else we could go with the idea that dogs are pooping in your yard, but yeah, sorry, sir.
I think it's
don't like
interesting
that
because
noise.
I did notice the same thing that Richie did when it came to cleaning up dog poop. There was just, there was a time in my life when you would never, ever pick up dog poop.
Why
there
would
was
you?
a time in my
I'm
life
glad
when,
we've evolved.
Yeah, me too.
yeah, and then suddenly
devolved.
things changed, and it's like, oh, good people do this.
It bothers me
Okay.
0% to pick it up. It takes no time. While he's pooping, I'm getting out the bag. I'm opening up the bag.
Aliens are looking at you pick up the dog poop, and they know who's in charge.
The dog. That's
The
fine.
dog.
If your dog is pooping in my yard, you're making your property my problem.
I
now.
get it, but as Mark was saying, they weren't pooping in your yard in the past. They were pooping in public. They were pooping in like the median between the sidewalk and the road
They
where there was
absolutely
grass.
were not. They were pooping in people's yards.
That's gross though. Like I don't want to be like, I'm in the road. Let me cross the street, and now I'm stepping in this
Stay on the
grass.
sidewalks.
and-
Sidewalks are for humans. The
Sometimes
grassy
there's
areas
no
for
sidewalk
dogs.
in New Hampshire. New
Okay.
Hampshire is bad like that. Like sometimes it's like, well, I'm walking here. There's like no sidewalk, or it's like blocked by ice and stuff. But you know what's weird? It's like people in the winter are like, it'll get covered up by snow or something like that because as soon as it's spring, it's like thawing out all this dog poop on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then whenever it's been spring for a while and it's summer, people don't leave dog poop on the sidewalk. So I don't understand. Why do they leave it in the winter? It's weird.
Because you don't want to. It's cold out there.
That's
you don't want to
probably
be
what it is,
picking
yeah.
up dog poop.
That's probably what it is because that's actually the only time it actually feels like kind of a chore. Otherwise, I'm just like, it doesn't like bother me at all. Like I'm like really quick and efficient with it. Ian used to let his dog poop in his hand, not his bare hand, but like he'd take the bag and have the dog poop directly in his hand so he didn't have to.
I don't think that's an evolution.
I would just
Positive
be
evolution.
like, no, I don't like that either. I'd be like, Ian,
Dogs pooping in the grass is like the natural thing to occur. Scooping it out and catching it so it doesn't hit the floor
I was like,
is
I
not,
think
is
coconut
not
would let
moving
me have my
humanity
hand.
forward.
There is no natural thing. Dogs aren't natural. They're
That's
not
true,
meant
that's
to
true.
go pooping in your yard because they're not even supposed to exist.
Yep, that's
Well,
true.
wolves pooping. The wolves then
Are
whatever.
not pooping in my yard. I've never had a wolf
But
poop
they're
in my
pooping
yard.
in
Not
nature
ever.
though. They're pooping outside,
Yeah, where
and,
people
there's,
don't
and there's
live.
no one going to clean it up.
Out in the woods
Not
somewhere.
in civilization.
Yeah.
Not
Right.
in your backyard where
Take
you're
your
gonna
dog to
step
the
in
woods
it.
then if you're nearby. Take it into
No.
nature. That's where you're supposed to go.
Because dogs have come out of the woods and they need to act like it. That's what I think. Like our dogs don't
Feral
just pee
dogs.
inside just because they want to. You
I
know?
just think if you want to have a little mutant wolf, then keep your mutant wolf's dog poop, not anyone else's problem.
Yeah, exactly. That's
I'm
the
not
other
even
thing. It's
arguing
like-
about the private property. I'm saying it used to be just on the public, and then you just be careful when you go out onto the grassy areas.
Yes, and everyone
because
used
it might
to
be dog poop.
and everyone used to like live in squalor and just have
Walk in, horse
poop-filled
poop on the streets, yeah.
back in medieval England and,
And we were getting
die
sick.
of cholera. But like
Yeah.
we just don't live like that anymore.
Some
And
people
people
don't even-
sweeping up horse poop as like horse-drawn carriages, like that was a job, and we've moved on from that.
Right.
Oh, I thought you were
Exactly.
going to say,
So
and
now
then we
people
had
pick
made
up
the
their dog's
job.
poop.
No, but we moved on from that. No, this is a regression to that time.
You think people don't pick up horse poop when like there's horses in places?
On-
Like
no.
I lived in Arizona in a little town and they had horses and people would clean the poop up so that it's not just laying around because you know what that does is it breeds like disease and it's disgusting.
Not if they're pooping on the grass.
They're not pooping on the grass. They're pooping on the roads where someone's
But that's
riding
the thing,
a horse.
though. Like,
Yeah, but
they're
that's why you have
coming
someone to
into
clean it up.
civilization. It's not
Oh
just
my
like
gosh.
out in wild horse land or whatever.
Richie, do you have a dog?
What? No.
Thank
Have
God.
you?
What?
Have you?
No. I've rented too long. I want one. I just, don't want to pay the fee and.
Are you one of those people that would never get a small dog? Because you're a
I
man?
don't want a small dog.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So in my opinion, small dogs should be called something else. And like big dogs can even have the term dog. I don't care. I feel like those are two different pets, two different animals. They need to be separated. Even though they can breed and everything. Well, so can mules or whatever. Breed with horses or whatever. I probably got that one wrong. It's like
What about
donkeys and
an
horses.
obese, medium-sized dog? Does it get upgraded to a large dog, or I mean, like, because at this point we decide which dogs are big and which ones are small based on weight. Now, I don't know what how much Coconut weighs, but let's say a medium-sized dog is 25 pounds,
Okay.
and Coconut currently
He's
weighs
17.
17 pounds.
Actually,
Perfect,
that's when
thank you.
he's overweight, but whatever.
That's right. That's where I'm going. Now, if you
usually
fed
15.
Coconut and he looked like a little watermelon with legs, right? If you overfed him, would he then be a medium-sized dog, or is he just a fat, small dog?
The other thing that makes it complicated is that, like, Coconut can weigh the same amount as a dog, but he can be taller because he has, like, long, skinny, like, stilts for legs. So, yeah, you're right. I don't know. I feel like at some point...
He'd be a fat, small dog, to directly answer your question.
Good.
Wait, what? Oh, you would get a fat, small dog?
No, Mark asked a question.
Oh, yeah. That's true, yeah. Well, you know, people have called Coconut a medium-sized dog, too, so it's, like, kind of like opinion at that point.
Well, that's because he doesn't fit in your purse.
I'm just tired of people being like,
Like
stop
the
bringing
teacup
your
dogs.
dogs into a blah, 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 this and that thing. And it's like, I can see that being a problem for a pit bull, or it's not even like pit bull because blah, blah, pit bull conversation. Like, I can see that being a problem for even a lab to come into certain areas, but like smaller dogs, like, I don't know.
It's a property rights thing.
I think
Do
they
what the
should be
owner
different.
says.
That's true. But just as far as like norms and stuff, but what isn't really normal anymore and is a thing of the past is worshiping Greek gods. And there's some people doing that are mad about the Odyssey. More Free Talk Live coming up, and whatever else you want to talk about. 603-283-6160 is Free Talk Live.
This hour of Free Talk Live is brought to you by Dash Digital Cash. Dash is the cryptocurrency designed to be used for spending. Tired of the ever-inflating US dollar? You can live your life on Dash instead with some handy websites. BitRefill.com has been accepting Dash for years and has a ton of big-name retailers and brands including grocers, gas stations, phone refills, Amazon, and even prepaid MasterCards. Plus, many of their gift cards are available at a discount. But what about paying your bills? Spritz.finance can do that, and they can send dollars to your bank account in case you still need those for some reason. Dash is one of the oldest cryptocurrencies and is widely available on exchanges, including the decentralized Maya protocol and in multi-crypto wallets. It's easy to get and use Dash. Start by learning more at Dash.org. Thanks to the Dash DAO for sending us 32 Dash per month to promote Dash on the air. Visit Dash.org to learn about Dash. Dash.org.
From Feature Story News in New York, I'm Mitch McCann with the Week in Review. US President Donald Trump declared the ceasefire with Iran over this week, but says Washington has agreed to continue negotiations as mediators scramble to prevent further escalation. The Wall Street Journal has reported that Israeli intelligence has uncovered a fresh Iranian plot to assassinate the US president. Jagruti Dave reports from Washington.
The US has been saying that Iran has been plotting potentially to kill President Trump in retaliation for the US strikes that killed their military leader Qasem Soleimani in 2020. Now, interestingly, this story also comes at a time where just after the New York Times has been reporting that President Trump didn't leave Turkey, the NATO summit in Turkey, in the new Qatari Air Force One, but he left in the older version of Air Force One because of security precautions.
Iran's new Supreme Leader, Mojtaba Khamenei, did not appear at the burial of his father, former Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, on Thursday, as Pakistan and Qatar work urgently to bring Washington and Tehran back to the negotiating table. The contradictory signals from the White House had left mediators uncertain about the American position. Kate Fisher reports from Washington.
On the one hand, you had Donald Trump declaring the ceasefire was over, but also saying that he thinks talks could continue, saying that the US should finish the job, but he doesn't want to return to all-out war. And it's hard to know if this is part of his negotiating tactic to kind of put extra pressure on Tehran, or whether it is just genuinely him being frustrated one minute and then changing his mind the next.
Ukraine launched its largest drone attack on Moscow in 2 years this week, with more than 430 drones targeting the Russian capital and surrounding regions. Russia's defense ministry says it intercepted more than 450 drones across the country, while all four of Moscow's major airports imposed temporary flight restrictions during the barrage. The attack came as NATO leaders gathered in Ankara for a summit at which major new military assistance for Ukraine was expected to be pledged. Dasha Chinashova reports from Moscow.
The MOD says more than 400 Ukrainian drones were intercepted over different parts of Russia over the course of this past night, most notably in the Rostov region. The air raid sirens were on all night long in the Taganrog Bay. 2 tankers have been hit by the Ukrainian drones. They were not carrying any oil, so the authorities say that there was no oil spill in the waters as the tankers were heading to the Rostov-on-Don port. report. We're also hearing about the major attack against the Saratof region. One person got killed there and 2 others got injured in the Tatarstan regions.
From Feature Story News in New York, I'm Mitch McCann, and that was the Week in Review.
Our Matrix server is about as free as internet chat can be. Join the existing rooms or create your own at chat.freetalklive.com.
Free Talk Live, talk radio that you control, and 603-283-6160 is the phone number. That's 603-283-6160. And if you're tired of the oppressive rules and moderation of the big tech social media sites, our Mastodon server at social.freetalklive.com can set you free. Mastodon is free, open source, decentralized, and federated. Multiple apps are available for iOS, Android, Windows, Mac, and Linux. social.freetalklive.com. And with you on Free Talk Live tonight, you've got me, Bonnie.
Lori.
Rich.
And Mark Edge coming remotely.
And in the last segment, I had mentioned that there are actually some people that are currently worshiping Greek gods. Sounds honestly super fun.
Are they called Greeks?
I don't think that's just I don't think most Greeks do that. I would really be shocked. I don't know now that I'm thinking about it, but
I think a lot of Greeks would be offended by the notion.
yeah, like actually going and worshiping them. But it would be so fun.
Yeah, way more fun than
regular
the
church
Bible
or
stories.
I agree.
There's I don't know how big of a community it is here. Well, like with the Free Staters, we're like Asatru.
And really? Free Staters do that?
Some of them. I don't know how big it is. Right, but they worship like the Norse gods.
Mm-hmm.
At least a few.
So Mark knows them.
Cool. That's why you knew what that was called.
But I'm just saying, that's on the. I feel like that's on the same plane as the Greek gods.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right. So.
When I was a kid, the Greek gods were like my favorite. I didn't care about Egyptian gods or anything.
Okay.
I liked the Greek god stories, and
I like the stories, but my problem is that sometimes the names are better for the Romans, and sometimes they're better for the Greeks, and I want to mix them.
Me too.
When I, like Minerva.
I was about to say, I like Minerva.
Yeah, Minerva does not hit as hard for me as Athena does.
No, I think Minerva is like a cool name. It's like one of those names where every once in a while I'm like, yeah, if I had like a fish or something, that would be a cool name. But Mark hates it. I feel like I've heard you use that example before.
Wanda's a better name for a fish.
But I think that the god Minerva
and Athena. So, sorry.
I think the goddess Minerva hits mostly wisdom as opposed to wisdom and war, which was the Athenian god, right? Like she's kind of a logical wars goddess as opposed to Mars, who was just kind of like death and destruction.
I will also suggest that I think we're at a point in human history where just go ahead and mix them.
Yeah.
No one's going to stop you or care.
The way I always
except for
remember
those people who worship the Greek gods.
Yeah, whatever.
They'll care.
The way I always remember...
That's not a Greek, that's a Roman.
At least
exactly.
Yeah, exactly. But the way you can remember is if they're named after the
planets.
Yeah,
one of those guys.
If they're named after the planets, they're Romans. Because for some reason they got, the, what's it called? The favor when it's like the Greeks came first. The Greeks were just way cooler. Sorry, any Italians listening. Yeah, hopefully you guys aren't still warring or anything. But we actually have a caller on the line, so...
I did hear somebody at one point say... ask, is Greek a Romance language? Somebody asked at a Greek restaurant, asked a Greek man, is Greek a Romance language?
Damn.
He knew the name Romance, which I thought, points, but I'm like, whoa, boy, did you step in a big pile of big Greek poop, right?
Greek is way older, that's why
no one's going to pick up.
Oh my God.
Right.
Oh my God. Maybe the Greek gods will, since they're the owners, the dog owners. Well, we have a dog on the line. We have Turd Person from Pennsylvania. You're on Free Talk Live. What's on your mind?
Well, Minerva is basically the name that a millennial white girl would give to her daughter.
True.
Except she'd spell it weird.
See, I said fish, but when I was a kid, I was like, I would name my kid Persephone. I would name my kid Minerva. I loved the name Persephone. And then my friend got in a physical fight with these girls named Persephone and Athena, and I was just like, oh, those are like ghetto names to me now, because those were like ghetto chicks.
Well, it's kind of a ghetto thing to name your kid.
I know, and like looking back, I probably wouldn't do it. It'd be like naming your kid like, you know, all of a sudden they're not coming to my head, but like a boy's name that like ends with Achilles, you know. You couldn't really, even though, yeah, exactly. Even though those are like cool to guys when they're kids, you probably wouldn't name your kid any of those names. Why are none of them coming to me right now?
I have so there was a business in town in Keene, New Hampshire that the husband and wife named their kid Leonidas.
Oh, okay, there's one.
Leonidas, by the way, is about maybe 5 years younger than me. So Leonidas is a man. But when 300 rolled around, he suddenly went from, I have a stupid Greek name, to, now I like my name. And nice. I can kind of see it, like Leonidas, and I think it's Leonidas the First. I'm not 100% sure. But that particular king of Sparta, probably the second most influential person in Western history, right?
More than Julius Caesar? I don't know.
Yeah, I think more than Julius Caesar.
Oh,
Western civilization wouldn't have existed without Leonidas.
Oh, wow.
Well, I don't know
claim.
about that, but Western civilization certainly would not exist without Christopher Columbus, so I'm assuming he's probably the single most important.
I think he was saying
in
Jesus.
Yeah, Jesus I'm taking. Christopher Columbus found the New World. Certainly a big
important
occupied.
It would have been found eventually. It's like pretty big.
Yep,
well,
it'd have been
maybe,
found.
But I would go as far to say as Christopher Columbus coming to America is probably the single most important event in the history of humanity, with maybe the exception of the coming of Jesus. But if you exclude
if we're gonna spar over it, I'm going to
Important
take Bonnie's position here, and I like that position, which is somebody was going to find the New World, and Christopher Columbus, therefore, is inconsequential. Whereas if you compare him to, say, Leonidas the First of Sparta, not necessarily the Athenians, the Thespians, the rest of them weren't standing there and prepared to die. They didn't have a religion that said, "I shall die on this spot." And
you can make the argument. You can make the argument that eventually somebody else would have found it, but how long? How much longer later? I mean, all the greatest inventions in the world.
I mean, the ships were getting better right then. So, like, since the ships were getting better, I think it would have happened pretty much around then, right?
All the greatest inventions in the history of the world, for better or for worse, more or less, came out of the Western Hemisphere post Christopher Columbus.
Do you not think that those things would have also been invented
They would have just been
in Europe?
doing it in England, yeah, like where they were before. I don't see how that's a really good point.
Look, I don't know about that.
Plus, like, we're switching back and forth from important to influential. Like, I do think Jesus is undeniably the most influential. Like, important is a little more like you've got an opinion, but influential, like the most read book in the world, written by him. No, I'm just kidding. About him.
Basically, the way we act is formed by Christianity, which is therefore formed by Jesus. I mean, in many ways, our entire culture is built on Jesus's philosophy, or whomever this was. I'm not 100%. We can't prove Jesus existed, but
he probably existed, just whether or not he was the Son of God. But
right, I agree with Turtle.
You know what? I actually agree with you, Mark. Because most of the Walbertardians I would ask in my lifetime say they get their morality from something called the non-aggression principle, which of course I think is ridiculous. I think it's far more likely that Jesus influenced their morality and their behavior.
Why? When I disagree with lots of what Jesus says, like including like morality.
Well, I was going to say that as of today, or I guess it was a few days ago now, a bunch of scholars want to corrupt and make the world even stupider by teaching what they call Black English in public schools, or Ebonics, as some call it.
I feel like that's been pushed a long time.
Well, it's on its next big push now, probably its biggest push right now.
Okay.
And I was reading on I forget which website. It might have been the New York Post, but I don't remember. But like they had some of these Ebonic phrases listed out on their website, and some of them were just like, frankly, like complete gibberish or idiotic.
Well, it's because you don't speak the language.
Right. So to be taught in college, he
It's
said?
not a language. It's a stupid, idiotic thing that should not be taught in school because it's not real.
Wait, is it taught in college or in like high schools?
No, in high school, in grade school English.
Oh, in grade school.
And,
Okay.
And
I wouldn't teach it in grade school English.
I don't think that
high school
that's-
foreign language,
Yeah.
maybe.
Or college
You can
courses,
take this or Chinese.
Speak Alabamian?
Right.
Yep.
I don't
mean, it
think.
could be useful.
Hold on. If we're going to have government schools and you're going to steal my money to do it, you suddenly get my opinion. My opinion is, please don't teach courses that make people sound dumber. So,
From the guy who's taking Spanish.
against that. You,
Yeah, I
you
agree
can,
with
you
that.
can
I
think
took
however you
French.
want, but I'm not teaching a course on it.
I took
Mark,
French,
you
but
and
lots
I
of people
are on
like
the
to make
same
fun of that.
wavelength as this. And as a matter of fact, I believe I called and insulted Chris Wade like a year or so ago about something similar to this. But I don't, at the same, if I have to pay for your crappy school, then I should have a say on what goes on in it. I don't want people teaching stupid things. I don't want girls going into high school wearing low-cut shirts and showing their thongs to everybody.
Yes, you do.
If you go there,
just
you have to go
just
there
coming
and
out
get
of high
smarter.
school.
Wait,
I'm
what?
confused right now. Why would you say you don't want that, one, when you're already a perv, and then two, what? I don't understand. Like, nobody's teaching.
Because I have to pay for it. Because I don't want to pay for it.
I don't
Look,
get it.
wouldn't
I
even
don't get it.
wanna
Like,
pay for it.
the way they dress,
Bonnie,
you don't
I
have to pay
wouldn't
for.
I don't want to pay
even
for
wanna
girls
pay-
to dress slutty.
Well, look, I wouldn't even want to pay a girl to come over here and sit in a thong and a tube top on my couch.
You're not paying for
Much
their
less have to
clothes.
pay-
What are you
much
talking
less
about?
That's
have
what
to
doesn't
pay
make any
for
sense.
some
Like,
stupid,
you feel like
much
it's a
less
point
stupid-
side point.
Well, I don't
Wants
want
them to do it for free.
You just take more time when the teachers are like, your shoulder's showing, and stop in the class all day.
Yeah, well, you know what? I'm okay with that.
And you're paying
Because if I
more
have to pay-
to stop the class all
if
day,
I
and you're
have to
paying
pay-
more for uniforms and such like that, and stops in the hallways, and
He's just jealous
No,
that teenage
I
boys
don't
get
wanna
to
pay
see
for
it. and
that's
he
true.
doesn't.
They have to go
That's
to
why it just
school.
seems so out of place. That's like not what the truth was. What's coming out of his
actually.
mouth.
They just have to go to school in clothing that doesn't expose a lot of their skin. I don't want to have to pay for their uniforms either. They could go to Goodwill and buy some.
Look, it's hot.
What
I'm
does
trying to
that-
expose as much skin as possible when I go.
They
on
should
the
give
road.
every
with you
student
paying
an
for it?
orange onesie to wear to school. They have plenty of them left over at the county jail.
Orange
Well, there you
onesie.
go.
I'm just
Yeah,
missing
I
the
mean,
point of
If I
where
don't- if I
you're
don't have to
paying
pay-
for
if I don't have
this.
to pay any extra for that, I'm fine
Taxes.
with it. Actually,
He's not paying for their clothes.
Yeah,
He's paying for the school.
Yeah, but
And per Mark,
I
if
know.
I'm paying for it, I get to have an opinion on it.
Yeah, but it's not like the teachers are like, you must wear skimpy clothes and your thongs must be coming out or anything. It doesn't add to the cost. I don't get it.
Look, they're not Manny Santos from Degrassi. You can't go to school with your thong. You can't go and learn Ebonics in a high school class.
Yet.
You have to
Two
go
very
there
different
to
things.
get smarter, and that's it. And by the way,
Because the thong makes you
actually,
dumb.
If I don't have to pay for any of it, they can do whatever they want to do. If they want to, if Shrewsbury Borough wants to bring my school tax down to $0.00,
That'd be nice,
then look,
huh?
they can do whatever they want, as far as I'm concerned. But if I have to pay for it, I get a say.
It sucks because we're like agreeing on that, but then you just throw some random thing. It's like if I just randomly am just like, and if the boys are too tan, I don't want to pay for that either.
They're going to bring it down to
Like,
zero,
no
teach
tanning.
Ebonics, and then he's still going to be upset that people in his neighborhood are speaking Ebonics.
Yeah, that's true.
Well,
That's true.
that's another story. And by the way, if they're learning about it, that's one thing. But look, I will say that there have been, and I don't know if they're living here, but there has been an uptick in some people of some different races I've seen at the Walmart lately. And look,
Walmart.
I don't mind black people or Hispanic people, but I don't want them living in Shrewsbury. And I'll tell you why. It's not because of their skin color or anything like that. It's because of two things.
Their skin
One,
color.
Well,
The color of their skin?
according to crime statistics from the FBI,
All that melanin.
there are groups of people that are more likely than other groups of people to commit crime, and B, because those people are statistically more likely to vote Democrat. And I'm not a dumb free stater. I don't want to allow people to move in here and vote against my best interests like the free staters want for some reason.
How are you going to
that's
stop
why I don't want a bunch of
these
people.
brown people from moving into your neighborhood, Turd?
That you don't
What's
know.
your plan now?
Well, wait. Say that again. I missed it.
how are you going to stop these brown people from moving into your neighborhood? What law are you going to put in place?
Look, that's a good question. I mean, quite frankly, I don't know how I'm going to stop it. I don't want it to happen.
Elect the right representative.
I still think that 95+% of Shrewsbury is white, and to be honest, that's kind of the way I want to keep it. I mean, look, attractive young black women and attractive young Hispanic women, they can come in. That's fine. But everybody else, stay away. You know what I mean? And even them, I don't want too many of them because they're going to vote Democrat. And by the way,
I'm so glad you wrapped up with this, Turd, because now I don't have to
he's not done,
phone say, well, unfortunately, I agree with Turd Ferguson. Because now you've wrapped up with this and I don't have to say it. Thank you.
Just so you know, Turd, you're wrong. It says 84% is white, non-Hispanic in Shrewsbury Borough, Pennsylvania.
What? How many are black?
Black is 5%.
No,
there's like 4% too many.
Well, is that all you had to say, Turd?
I guess so.
Thanks for the call, Turd. Yeah, there's 1% other or Asian, because I guess there's just that few Asians there.
There's too few Asians everywhere.
I feel obligated to give the libertarian answer here for just a moment.
Mm-hmm.
Libertarianism is an individualist philosophy, and therefore we do not make decisions based on
skin
color and these sorts of things.
That's why you're a libertarian, Mark.
Oh my God, I hate that term. It's so stupid. I actually think the stupidest people use that term, to be honest. I mean, I know you're making a joke, I assume. Yeah.
Of course. The kind of person that would learn Ebonics.
Well, I'm not going to do that.
Is that what you have to say about it, Mark?
No,
Sorry,
I'm saying that's the kind of person
you.
who uses the term libertarian.
I understand. I don't know who would necessarily.
More like a
All I'm
turd,
saying
like
is
somebody who's
that
making fun of libertarians usually, but it's like a really dumb way. It's like, I actually wish you were making fun of us better. I'm not even trying to be funny. Like, it literally is like stupid.
The turds
I get better jokes and stop doing crowd work.
What I find the best way to handle this is, look, if you can live your life however you want to live your life, and you're going to get the results you're going to get with that life, however you choose to live it. So I want people who say, you know what, I want the best things for me and mine, and I'm going to conduct myself in the way that is going to have the best results. I want them to have as good a result as possible. And I want and I think Turd probably feels this way. He just is terrible at expressing it. I want those people to get the best results. I want them to be treated in the best way. So, I don't think that based on the color of their skin that they were born with and they can do nothing about, that they should be in any way prevented from living in a place or anything like that.
Do you think Turd feels that way? Because he was pretty explicit. I don't want those people in my neighborhood.
He kind of said that it was okay for 1%, didn't he?
He said the cute ones.
Yeah, he said
are
only hot
allowed
girls.
in,
Yeah,
and I made the joke about 1%.
And then when I said only 5%, he said, "Thank God." So I don't know. I really don't know a turd like that. We only talked to him on the air, so I don't know. One thing I thought was funny was I went to Pennsylvania to visit Ian, and not only is like everyone nice there, and it feels like some kind of 80s movie or something. It's like it doesn't matter what color they are or anything, because there's definitely more black people in that area there than I'm used to in New Hampshire. Yep. Everybody's like kind to each other. You wouldn't be able to just go there and be like, oh, these people are ruining the town or something like that, like Turd apparently thinks. Everybody seems really nice to each other, and all the women in the area are like so beautiful. Like every time I went to like a local coffee shop, I was like, everybody is like nice and pretty and like young and like hanging out together instead of just like on their phones like an old person. Like
that happens anytime you leave New Hampshire.
No, because when I went to like Michigan, I thought, oh, like people in New Hampshire are better looking than these people. I'm gonna be honest.
All right.
I don't know what it is. I think that states actually do kind of have a general vibe. Sorry, Michigan Ganders.
Well,
hopefully nobody's listening from there.
I think that you're right. I think that warmer climates and specifically Los Angeles.
Yes.
And maybe Las Vegas to some extent. Probably Las Vegas to some extent. Attracts a better looking person. Good looking people say,
Southerners are like really
I can make more money going here or there.
that.
So you have this brain drain issue going on in many places, specifically the Rust Belt. And so, you get uglier people staying home.
Well, whatever. That's all opinions anyway, man. That's all my opinion anyway, man.
I think that looking good is science.
Well, yeah.
There's
I
a
think
scientific aspect to it.
There definitely
but people,
is.
there's
Things
also
mix.
like a personal preference that defies the science.
And plus, there's a difference between like beauty and attractiveness, like whether somebody is attractive to you. Like there are lots of men that can look at and be like, that's like a obviously attractive man, but I'm not attractive to him. Or like a good looking
there's some
man, but-
objectivity to it. Like, oh man, she's objectively hot, not my type.
Exactly. Yeah. So
And I had a buddy of mine where he goes like, Rich, I know your type. Like, what's my type? It's like, you like tall, white, ugly chicks.
it's not like ugly chicks. That's just his opinion, man.
Right. I'm like, that's just like your opinion,
It's
man.
not like you would say yourself, I love ugly chicks.
No,
Like,
it's just like, that's the ones that, caught my eye and he just thought they were ugly.
Yeah, it's two totally different things. Like beautiful
But he was also
men-
dating like Asian chicks.
Yeah.
It was
Beautiful
like, all
men
right.
are not attractive.
Nope. Like some people like to say online that we're lying, like most women are lying about being not attracted to clavicular. And it's like, no, clavicular is not hot to me. Like,
No.
does not make me like, oh, I want to be with him.
He's aesthetically pleasing to the eye, but he's not attractive.
Now that he fixed his nose, in my opinion.
You don't feel any attraction to the person.
Hell no. Definitely not him of all people. He
You don't
creeps
like
me out.
clavicular?
The name does it for me. And also like the levels that one goes through to attract women.
Yeah, to hit yourself in the face with a hammer.
Right.
And then
That's not your
also
thing.
to be unsuccessful at attracting women and only attracting other weird looking dudes. Like just
Yeah.
you're kind of doing it wrong.
Clavicular looks maxing is about getting the best life you can get by looking as good as you can look.
No, I'm pretty sure it was to attract women, and then he failed. Like that was
He's
the
very
goal.
autistic.
And
He's
then
like
he got a
clearly
nose
autistic.
job, which made him even less
No, I
attractive.
liked it.
It made him more beautiful, made him less attractive.
Okay, yeah. Because if Ian was like, I want a nose job, I think that would make me like, ew.
No,
Like it
men's
wouldn't matter how it
noses are
turned out.
Men's noses are supposed to have like presence and like.
Plus, you just shouldn't be thinking about it. That's why I'm like, okay, wait, and I feel like I might offend.
Prominent proboscis.
I might offend people. I don't know. Does like Stu have
Do it.
tattoos?
Yes.
Oh, I personally am not into tattoos, but I think it's probably related to the fact that like no men in my family have tattoos or something. So like, I don't know. I was just gonna
And
say
you're
it
getting yours
seems like
removed?
it's that's like completely unrelated in my
Okay.
opinion because I think that tattoos can be awesome on women. I hate mine. The ones I got suck. It's like if I could go back in time and get flowers, I probably wouldn't be removing them. I got an eagle and some like geometric shapes. I don't know why I did it. Like I
went the opposite way. I had a heart and a butterfly, and then
Oh, I have a
changed
heart,
it into
too.
a black widow and a dragon.
Oh, you changed them.
Yeah, into those. Because I didn't like them.
Yeah,
They're
just
so basic and terrible.
I'm genuinely terrified that if I went and just changed them into something else, I would just hate that too. So I'm just going the removing it route. You know, no chance I hate it. You know, but I just don't like.
I will say this: it's the safest
Sorry, Mark.
bet to not get tattoos. You
Yes.
like almost no one is more attracted to you because you have tattoos, and it doesn't matter whether you're male or female.
No, there actually is a lot of people that
I
are like really
disagree
into
with
it.
that.
Like,
Okay, some people are into the
Lots
tattoos.
of
Some
people.
women are into the
Lots
tattoos.
of people, men and women.
I think it's more
I just don't
common
think men are.
that a man likes tattoos
Because
on
Mark's
women.
tattoos are from prison and he was always getting hit on by other inmates.
Maybe it's generational though.
Oh, I see his face. He's mad. I'm just kidding. No, he's smiling and blinking hard.
I cannot see your face, Mark.
I don't have any way to rebut. That's what bothers me.
I feel bad. I made
Here's
it like,
what I want to know: is men definitely are known for liking feet. Has there ever, in the course of human history, been a woman who is into men's feet?
I don't think so. I really doubt it. Yeah, it's not.
I
Even
doubt it too.
I'm not even like disgusted by feet. Like some people are like, "Ew, don't even let me see your foot."
Men
like,
just don't have
just
nice
not
feet.
into them. Yeah,
Men don't have nice feet.
yeah.
Especially
They're
the
just
Greek
big,
Walking
flopping,
around in their sandals.
like flip flop feet. They're terrible. They're huge and like just not nice looking.
Is it possible for him? Like, if the man had the best foot, right? Like, there's a
I don't even know what
top
would make
end
the best foot.
men's foot, and I still don't think that's attractive to really anyone. Like, I think a woman can say that's the best looking man's foot I've ever seen, but they still don't find it like sort of sexually attractive.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
My ex had cute feet, and it was fine until I saw that she got him from her dad. And then I saw her dad's feet, and like, oh, that's where that came from, and that was the end of that.
Whoa, wow. It's crazy. What about just like facial features? What if you were dating someone you could tell that she looked like your dad in the face? Like, would that do that?
Well, we'll come back to it if you want. but-
More Free Talk Live is coming up. Don't go anywhere. 603-283-6160. More Free Talk Live coming up. Don't go anywhere. It's Free Talk Live.
According to a new report released this week by the Pew Research Center, a rising number of weak, emasculated men are working as stay-at-home dads, with a steadily increasing number of feeble, pathetic fayboys choosing to spend their days cooking, cleaning, and performing other submissive duties.
Well, our findings indicate that more and more pussified half-men are not going to work, and instead are embarrassing themselves by purchasing groceries, packing children's lunches, and denying all aspects of their masculinity on a daily basis.
The Onion spoke to one of these effete, pathetic excuses for men to get his response on the new report.
I love being able to stay home with Angela. I mean, it's a lot of work, but I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world.
What a f***ing pussy. For more on this story, check this week's Onion Review.
This is the Onion News Network.
Eleutheromania. The insatiable desire for freedom. It's the new 3-song heavy metal EP from Captain Kickass. Available now on your favorite music app or get it directly from CaptainKickass.com.
If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com to receive our usually weekly news updates by email. Plus, we have a Twitter account at twitter.freetalklive.com, and you can follow us on the decentralized Mastodon platform at toot.freetalklive.com. So please follow us at toot.freetalklive.com and sign up for our emails at news.freetalklive.com.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 3 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
From Feature Story News in New York, I'm Mitch McCann with the Week in Review. US President Donald Trump declared the ceasefire with Iran over this week, but says Washington has agreed to continue negotiations as mediators scramble to prevent further escalation. The Wall Street Journal has reported that Israeli intelligence has uncovered a fresh Iranian plot to assassinate the US president, and the New York Times reports that President Trump left the NATO summit in Turkey aboard the older Air Force One rather than the new Qatari-funded aircraft because of security concerns. Jagruti Dave reports from Washington.
The US has been saying that Iran has been plotting potentially to kill President Trump in retaliation for the US strikes that killed their military leader Qasem Soleimani in 2020. Now, interestingly, this story also comes at a time where just after the New York Times has been reporting that President Trump didn't leave Turkey, the NATO summit in Turkey, in the new Qatari Air Force One, but he left in the older version of Air Force One because of security precautions.
Iran's new Supreme Leader, Mojtaba Khamenei, did not appear at the burial of his father, former Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, on Thursday, as Pakistan and Qatar work urgently to bring Washington and Tehran back to the negotiating table. The contradictory signals from the White House had left mediators uncertain about the American position. Kate Fisher reports from Washington.
On the one hand, you had Donald Trump declaring the ceasefire was over, but also saying that he thinks talks could continue, saying that the US should finish the job, but he doesn't want to return to all-out war. And it's hard to know if this is part of his negotiating tactic to kind of put extra pressure on Tehran, or whether it is just genuinely him being frustrated one minute and then changing his mind the next.
Ukraine launched its largest drone attack on Moscow in 2 years this week, with more than 430 drones targeting the Russian capital and surrounding regions. Russia's defense ministry says it intercepted more than 450 drones across the country, while all 4 of Moscow's major airports imposed temporary flight restrictions during the barrage. The attack came as NATO leaders gathered in Ankara for a summit at which major new military assistance for Ukraine was expected to be pledged. Dasha Chinashova reports from Moscow.
The MOD says more than 400 Ukrainian drones were intercepted over different parts of Russia over the course of this past night, most notably in the Rostov region. The air raid sirens were on all night long. In the Taganrog Bay, 2 tankers have been hit by the Ukrainian drones. They were not carrying any oil, so the authorities say that there was no oil spill in the waters as the tankers were heading to the Rostov-on-Don port. We also hearing about the major attack against the Saratov region. 1 person got killed there and 2 others got injured in the Tatarstan regions.
Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese have signed a landmark uranium supply agreement in Melbourne, enabling Australian exports to fuel India's civilian nuclear program. The deal, struck at the 3rd India-Australia Annual Summit on Thursday, is designed to support New Delhi's ambitious clean energy targets as the country seeks to decarbonise its power sector and heavy industry. The 2 leaders also signed a joint declaration on defence and security cooperation and announced a new critical minerals corridor. Ishan Garg reports from New Delhi.
The headline has certainly been the uranium supply deal. This is something that's been in the works for more than 10 years now. And this is crucial for India because just last year in 2025, the Indian government set itself a very ambitious target of producing 100 gigawatts of clean energy using nuclear fuel. And this comes at a time when India has been pivoting hard towards sources of energy which are non-polluting.
And finally, in the UK, the governing Labour Party and opposition Conservatives and Liberal Democrats say they will not stand in a by-election being triggered by Nigel Farage. The Reform UK leader is resigning as an MP to stand in a by-election in Clacton. He says it's a fight against the establishment and denies any wrongdoing as allegations swirl about his financial arrangements and donors. Foreign Secretary Yvette Cooper said Nigel Farage is having a political tantrum.
It's like Nigel Farage has just decided, well, the normal rules in politics that say, do you know what, if you get millions of pounds in donations, you need to declare it because, frankly, everybody needs to know there's not something dodgy going on. They need to know whether or not, who it's come from, whether there's any conditions, what is going on, because that is just about the normal rules of politics and it's what the public have a right to know.
From Feature Story News in New York, I'm Mitch McCann, and that was the Week in Review.
Shortly after members of the New York Police Department found a super sharp Buck brand pocket knife earlier this morning, Lieutenant Joseph Mattioli spoke to Onion reporters at the scene of the discovery to update the public on this potentially deadly blade.
At 8:40 a.m., police discovered what seems to be a pretty badass buck knife. Investigators believe it to be basically the deadliest knife ever.
Mattioli confirmed that the pretty cool wood-handled knife has a clean edge and added that the blade must be, quote, at least like 8 inches long.
At this time, we'd like everyone to be aware that there's probably a man out there with an eye patch and scars all over his face that has access to these knives, or maybe even a samurai sword. We urge people to be careful when approaching him because he may flip out and chop both your arms off before you even realize it.
Following the announcement, Mattioli asked people to come forward if they had any information about the owner of the knife or if they just wanted to hold it for a couple of seconds. For more on this story, check this week's Onion Review.
This is the Onion News Network.
You can stick it to the man and big tech. Join our FTL social mastodon at social.freetalklive.com. Free Talk Live.
It's Free Talk Live, talk radio that you control, and 603-283-6160 is the phone number. That's 603-283-6160. And you can call in with whatever's on your mind and call that number and change the subject or tell us what's on your mind. Tell us we're wrong about what we were saying. It doesn't matter because it's Free Talk Live and it's up to you what to talk about. 603-283-6160. And with you on Free Talk Live tonight, it's me, Bonnie.
Lori.
Richie Rich.
And Mark Edge coming remotely.
I think that the coolest god to worship, if you had to choose one, would definitely be Dionysus. Party all day. He's the wine god.
Okay.
He's definitely like the god of partying, not even joking. Like the god of having
Who's
a
the
good
one
time,
of,
let
like,
loose, being fun.
hanging out quietly and you like in your plants and stuff.
Maybe Hestia.
Hephaestus, yeah.
That's probably where I'm at.
The goddess of the hearth.
Did you say the same as me? Yeah. That's funny. Me and Mark said the same one. See, we like this stuff.
I said
think.
Hephaestus. Maybe I've got the wrong person. I think
Hestia
you're
is
right,
the goddess
Hestia.
of the heart. Yeah. Hephaestus, isn't that the one that, I don't know. I don't want to be wrong. These group of people actually take this really seriously and they worship them. It says a group of women. Women only?
Oh.
This is,
They're
wait,
just
I was
like
about
the
to
marble
say,
statues.
I was about to say this from archive.ph.
That sounds like a women thing. Like, we've got our crystals and we...
Hell yeah. It sounds awesome. Like I said,
gods.
It sounds fun.
We get...
This is my daughter Persephone. She also gets day drunk and worships Dionysus.
It's as valid as worshiping any other god.
Yeah. It just sounds like a very woman-coded one.
Okay.
You know.
You get
all.
the cool outfits and stuff like that. You get to put gold leaves in your hair.
Yeah, exactly.
The cool outfits? The tablecloth?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
But this article is from
Flattering
CNN, not
tablecloth.
archive.ph. And it says, these people say
Some
worshiping...
women are just dying to show a little side boob, Richie.
I'll take side boob.
Oh my God.
One leg and side boob.
Hey, you can't say it on the... No, I'm just kidding. On the radio. Side boob. No, I guess you can. But these people, they say that worshiping these gods is the route to modern happiness. Do you guys think so?
Obviously not, but go on.
Clearly I don't.
If that were true, I'd be doing it.
It depends. It depends on how much they declare themselves to be happy in the interview, because the more they declare it, the less likely it is that they are.
Oh, yeah. Let's see what they say. It says a group of women.
I would think that declaring yourself happy makes you happier. No?
No, if you say it like one time, but if you like keep repeating the fact that I'm so happy and like this
I'm
is the
so
best,
happy.
happiest thing I've ever done in my life, then then I start to not believe that you're.
I
It
saw
appears
this
to
person.
be clawing at that point, yes.
Yeah.
I saw this person that wrote this article saying, my boyfriend back in like the day complimented my friend's butt and I didn't care. And she wrote like two
I'm
more.
just still thinking about it all these years later.
And she wrote like two more paragraphs about how much she didn't care.
No,
like it didn't hurt my feeling. It didn't. I was just like, wow,
She
that person has a
absolutely
lot of
cries
thoughts about
about it at
that.
night.
Seriously,
Yeah.
We talked a little bit about
As
stand-up
she
comedy.
should.
Have you seen any of Shane Gillis's work?
A little bit.
Okay. Mark, are you familiar?
No.
I've just seen his
We'll find some
Trump.
clips. All right. Well,
His
Trump is
really
also good.
Yeah.
But
No,
it-
his Trump. Shane Gillis's Trump.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. His
Oh,
impression. Yeah, that's also good. But he also has a little bit where he's talking about people with Down syndrome,
Mhm.
right? Because he's got like the Downs, the Downy in the family. He's like, those people in life are the ones that seem to get it because they are happier more consistently than anybody else on the planet.
I've seen this.
So if you want happiness, there you go.
Get Down
Have
syndrome.
downs.
They're the ones that do it.
Well,
They're just always excited and happy about everything.
Get
It's
chromosome
just the
deletion
opposite of
surgery.
the more intelligent you are, the more unhappy you are claim. I don't know
Yes.
that it's necessarily true.
No.
But
I like to think so.
I'm not going to say that it's necessarily false either.
I think that that's conflating happiness and like satisfaction with the world, because you can have personal happiness and still be not happy with the way things are in the world.
Yeah, it brings your average down.
Well,
Like,
some people are saying I'm not going to have kids because there's too much CO2 in the air, and I've got to say that that doesn't sound happy to me.
Yeah.
That sounds like somebody who is constitutionally unable to be happy because of their philosophy.
Mm-hmm.
Are you calling them dumber for thinking there's CO2 in there? I don't know.
Nope. I think that there's good evidence that there's more CO2. I'm not a global warming denier. I believe in man-made global warming. I just don't think it's going as fast as we're being told. And people are so absolutely pissed off about being lied to again and again and again. It's another half decade and then we'll all be on fire. That is the kind of thing
Your
that
genitals will
ruins
just-
your philosophy.
Do you think that it's a bad thing?
Do what?
Man-made global warming and increased CO2.
I can only presume that it is not a good thing.
Okay.
Well, people
I
live
mean-
longer in high elevation because of the higher CO2. It's good for cell turnover.
Well, there's also some evidence, which I have seen but not have dug into, right, that the periods of the most growth in Earth's history was during warming periods where plants and animals are better able to thrive. So if you want human flourishing,
here's what I believe.
Right. It's got
There's nothing that I can do about it. It's like voting. Who cares how I'm going to vote? Because it doesn't make a difference.
Who cares if
how
it's
I
stolen?
vote.
That's how I feel.
So
you're not carbon neutral, Mark?
What's that?
You're not carbon neutral?
No.
Okay.
I wouldn't bother.
Right.
Why am I going to be carbon neutral while Al Gore flies around the world in a 747 talking about how...
Hey, don't worry about what other people are doing. Focus on yourself, man.
Yeah, well, there you go. I am focusing on myself, and I'd like to fly around the world with a whole bunch of other people in a 747 when I feel like it. So
business class.
Yeah.
Well, I don't remember how we got here. Like happiness. Oh, yeah. These women are saying this is the way to be happy.
Purportedly.
And I guess, it is actually men and women. But for some reason, the article starts off, a group of women come out from behind a banner placed in front of a small cave. Oh, like the Plato's thing? I don't know. Dressed in white ceremonial robes.
Tablecloths.
Yeah, tablecloths.
Men and women of varying ages are standing in a semicircle while the women lead a small procession around the stone altar. One woman places a small statue of Athena, the ancient Greek goddess of wisdom, at the back of the altar as frankincense burns. Happiness sounds really fun and cool to me.
I'm down with any Athena worship, just because if you're going to worship the idea of wisdom, I got to say that's a positive thing for the world. It's like the rest of it that bothers me.
The statue and the ceremonial robes.
No, just any of these other gods.
Oh, I see.
At this point, it sounds to me like we've decided to create a religion surrounding wisdom, and do what you want, wear tablecloths and show side boob, and create a ritual around it. Awesome. So long as we say that wisdom is a high-level virtue, I'm in.
Greeks had all these high-level virtues before Christianity was even conceived of, and you can find there's some building of theirs. Dang it, I wish I knew exactly what I was talking about, so I could I looked at the Wikipedia before, and I was reading all these different they have all these virtues written on the side of this building. I wish I knew what it's called right now, so I pulled up. I'll do it later. I'll find the Wikipedia and correct myself or whatever, but they had all kinds of things they believed that people think Christianity invented, and some of them were just straight to the point, pursue honor. Some of them said things like worship the gods. So that's
it looks like it's the Parthenon.
It's on the Parthenon? Wow, that's quick.
Wisdom, moderation, love.
But there was 200, so it might not be just the Parthenon.
That's too many.
But
That's too many virtues
associated with the Parthenon. I don't
they do. I'm just saying.
One.
A lot of people like to act like Christianity came around and finally us humans are going to be more moral and not kill each other. We would have all killed each other if we needed Moses to come down with the rocks that said don't kill each other.
And to prove it, the Christians went on a crusade. to spread it around the world.
They're all just derivatives of each other.
There had to be a first.
Yes, there had to be a first. But all the modern religions that everybody says this is the true one, they're all just derivatives of each other.
The Babylonians were before the Greeks even, and not Babylonians. I meant to say I'm not remembering what that Mesopotamians were before them, and they had a lot of we don't have that much left from them or whatever, but they have a lot of things that would be passed down, and you would think, oh, that seems similar to a lot of modern religions as well.
Somebody had the first alien encounter way, way long ago, and that's what started religion.
Oh, maybe. So
at least you can see the sun.
One thing about these people is at least they're getting together in a community. That's weird. That's what the next sentence says, and I did not read it, but that's gotta increase happiness. The people getting together for doing asatru, that always seems kind of fun and cool.
Getting together,
that would be my argument is that we must have religion. We are a religious monkey. That there is no society that functioned without superstition and religion in some fashion, and we must have it. That the ones that had it somehow outcompeted the ones that didn't, and the ones that currently don't have it are an anomaly in the same way that people who are schizophrenic. So schizophrenics will take anything that happens and relate it into other things and then apply it to themselves. There's a helicopter. I hate it when those bastards fly around and follow me. And whereas an atheist says, there's a helicopter. There's no proof that it is following me or you or anyone else, right? And so it's kind of the opposite of it, and they're just the ends of the bell curve.
I would put money on the fact that the atheist and not having children bubbles connect.
Well, Sweden,
like an overlapping Venn, like a
and
very
not just
overlapping
Sweden, but
Venn
like
diagram.
the Venn diagram circle, like
all the finger
overlap each other.
countries are that way. Like the most atheists, and they're not having enough kids to replace themselves.
Yeah, we're having like all these
But
crises.
they're great places to be.
We're having all these crises where like everyone's saying we're not going to replace our population. There's not going to be enough people, and I think the correlation between the rising atheism and the no babies is probably somehow linked together.
I think it's also collapsing because I've seen articles where Gen Z or Gen Alpha, whatever, are starting to come back to religion.
Oh, and have more
That's
babies.
all fake.
It's all fake? Go
Yeah,
on.
people have been making these articles where they're making these claims, and like the best that you can actually, when you actually look at the data, and like the best you can, okay, by best I mean like the most positive you can make it towards that claim is that the rate of falling religion, people claiming to be religious, the rate of that falling is slowing. So it's still falling.
Okay.
Like people
So
are not. there's not
atheists are
some-
still winning.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not necessarily atheists, but non-religious people. Because like I don't consider myself an atheist. I think that's such a
those are two
dumb
different
term.
things. Because I think the atheism is
That's
linked
what I'm saying.
to the low birth rate thing, but maybe not like people who believe that there might be something. I don't know if they correlate, but I think
What's the
atheism
functional
does.
difference between an atheist and non-religious?
Because an atheist is like,
claims
I
there
do
is no
not
God.
believe. Yeah, that is a
Okay.
claim. And I think that's
Okay.
silly to make a claim like that. It's like, it's just as silly to claim the opposite, in my opinion.
You have no way to know. You can't claim
Yeah.
something doesn't exist if you have no proof either way.
Okay. I mean, like,
you can, but I think you're wrong.
fine. But at the same time, that makes everyone agnostic, right? Because there's no proof either way.
Well, it's not just that there is no proof. There are people that, whether there's proof or not, they believe that there is a God in exactly who it is, and
Yeah,
they
but
believe
they
that they
don't
have the
know.
proof. No, it doesn't matter if they believe it. Like
I get you.
they believe that the proof is, well, this Bible exists, and if you point out anything, they're like, well, God made this Bible get here. Just things like that.
No, I'm with you. I get it. But in that same breath, then you can also say that they're atheists because they make the opposite claim. They just, like, I have not seen proof, and therefore I'm comfortable making the claim that there isn't.
No,
Right.
So, Richie, could there be an atheist church?
I mean, what do you mean?
I don't know.
Like there could be a meetup of atheists, right?
Yeah.
Like, you could do that.
What if they chose to call themselves a church?
Isn't the
Would they
Satanic
just be the
Church-
Unitarian Universalists? I mean, would it be okay? I'm just curious.
Isn't the Satanic Church just an atheist church? Because
They're a sect of Christianity.
They don't believe in God, and they don't believe in the devil either.
Yeah.
I think it's ridiculous.
Generally, that's
too.
true.
They don't actually believe in the devil, but it's like, imagine
They just use it as a shock label.
if you call yourself like you worship Hades, even if you say like, oh, I don't actually worship him, it's like you're still putting yourself in that pantheon, and that's so silly. Like if like
But
you
they-
hate Christianity so much,
But they state clearly like that they don't believe in that. They don't believe
right?
in
But then just call yourself like anything else. It's
they
like
use it as like a
It's like saying-
promotional tool. It's a promotional tool. Like you're not going to get your name out there to combat Christianity if you name yourselves the.
you're still putting you're still making your belief system a sect of Christianity that way, whether you're saying you
It's
believe
just
in it or not.
teenage atheists and the people who want to
That's
meet
what I
them.
think too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Like I want to say
Disgusting
yes, but it would be
perverts.
unnecessary, right? Like there, there's jokes about it, right? Because there's the Church of the Subgenius, who worships Bob, right? And there's also
Pastafarians.
yeah, but that's a different one, right? Those are the ones that
kinda thought that
worship
was
the
weird.
flying spaghetti monster, right? And they get to take cool driver's license pictures where they're wearing their posture strainer on their head because it's gotten far enough to be a religious thing. But I generally believe
Jedis.
fine, yeah, but I genuinely believe that those
I kind of
people
believe
are.
in Jedis. I have tried to move things with my mind and not been yet successful.
You'll get
but
there.
I've done
would
it.
point out that Jedis, the religion was actually created by a Quaker. It was a conversation between Lucas and another guy. I'd have to look this up in order to back it
Darth
up.
Vader.
But, what's that? Not Darth Vader.
It was a Luke joke because his name's Lucas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Might be Luke.
Whoosh.
Well, these people read a little bit ahead. They do worship more than just Athena. They worship Dionysus, Zeus, Athena, Poseidon, all of them. They are genuine. It's their genuine religious practice in the 21st century, and their Athenian thing they were coming together for.
No, it's not.
I don't know what you mean by that.
Well, we all agreed that Satanism was edgy teenage atheists and the people who want to meet them just a moment ago.
Because it's like, oh, what is the thing my parents were? I'm going to be the opposite of that. That's why
Right.
I say that.
That's fine. And this is, in my opinion, really only an adult version of that.
Why is it? Oh, wait, how can you actually make a...
So you don't think that they actually believe this stuff?
Yeah, how can you make the point that that is
They're
more
just here for the
believable than
wine.
Christian, or less believable than Christianity, though?
Well, okay, I'll go ahead and make the point. Because humans will believe things for a variety of reasons. One of the major reasons that people will believe things is because enough people in their community believe it. So, for instance, there have been studies done, many of them, that say that, if you get 5 people at a table, four of them you pay to say that the color red is blue. You can get about 60% of the time that other person at the table to say that red is blue. That they will not buck the system, and therefore it creates things. It creates this sort of belief system. Therefore,
like the Ash conformity tests,
we have already destroyed and proven that the Greek religion and the Roman religion, these things are things of the past. People don't believe them. This is
But
just
this
somebody
community
trying to
does.
be edgy or fun.
I think your point doesn't make any sense because, like, that'd be one thing if just one person just was sitting in their room and they're like, I'm gonna worship these Greek gods, but that's not the case with these people.
And then they
have a whole
invited a
group.
friend over
They have a
for
whole
wine and
community,
side boob.
and now they believe it.
Yeah,
In the year 2004, while doing Free Talk Live on the air, I signed up for the Flat Earth Society because this is cool. Now I've also signed up for the club that allows you to psychically disappear clouds. And these are just
Wow, I want to join that.
just fun, right? Like they're just something to do.
Hate
So
clouds.
if a bunch of, MILFs want to get together and show side boob and drink wine, I'm in.
They actually kind of are. Like this one lady has this really awesome like streak of white hair in her hair.
Yep.
MILF. Got
Okay.
it. Wait, I'm just
so
saying.
there's they're doing this gathering. They don't actually believe it, but they like the ceremony aspect.
According
and the
to
camaraderie.
Mark.
Okay.
I mean, like,
Okay. We'll go around the table. We know what my opinion is. Richie, do these women believe what they're doing?
I don't know. I'm more likely to align with you and say they don't. Right.
You got to
But
pick one.
I just did.
Okay. Thank you.
I mean, it's one thing if you're saying, do they believe that those gods exist somewhere?
Well, what would they otherwise believe?
Because I don't necessarily think that they ever all believed that.
Okay. Well, I don't. I mean, there were gods, and
There are
certainly
Christians that actually believe that God is walking around somewhere up there. That's like
Yes.
so incredibly unbelievable to me that I could just go around saying none of y'all believe that, and like, how am I supposed to prove it?
Well, I don't think the Greeks
'Cause
1,000
1,000 years from now, those people
gods
won't
were
exist.
visible. Like you could climb to the top of Mount Olympus and meet them. Otherwise, they would have done that. I think that they probably did believe, many of them, most of them, probably did believe that these beings had thoughts and adventures and in some way could affect their lives if they somehow could ply them with the animal meat.
And that's what Christians believe
So
about.
the claim that they don't believe it is just because it's too ancient of a religion to still be believable in modern times.
Correct.
Okay.
Their gods haven't been chased into the corners. Now, I am a theist, and I'm happy to say so. I'm a minister of the Shire Free. I think I've let the Shire Free Church go. I don't know. I'm a minister by trade, and I believe in a God, but I don't believe that He created the earth in 7 days. I don't believe that. I don't believe in a whole variety of things. I don't believe that there were 2 animals of each type put on a boat that floated around the world for a whole year.
Heretic.
What's that?
Heretic.
Heretic, yeah. There's all kinds of things I don't believe. I don't believe that there was a giant castle built, and when they got tall enough, that God decided we needed to create languages. These are just explanations for how the world is.
Okay. And somehow, because that's a more modern belief, it's more valid than these women in wine.
Right. You have to have a belief that fits within a modern spectrum. Sure.
Well, how did the Greek religion, how did this Greek religion fall out of that? Because at one time it was modern, right? Like, because
you can climb to the top of Mount Olympus and you can find out there's no gods there.
I wish I knew more about why the Greek specifically kind of fell in popularity to the Romans, but I would say that the Romans, because over time there were different, not kings, but whatever they called them, emperors that, like, for political reasons, wanted Christianity to be bumped up to the top, and then also Christians were going around destroying their statues and things like that, and eventually that it got basically like told to them that you're going to stop with your gods and you're going to follow the Jewish God, you know.
So the secret and fundamental ideal, if you're forming your own religion, is to make sure that your claims are neither falsifiable nor provable. Because if you can falsify it or prove it, right, then someone's going to
ruins the show.
Ruins the show.
Oz behind the curtain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I the sanctimony that goes with atheism is the part that kind of, irks me the most of it.
That's what irritates me most about the Christianity too.
Oh yeah, it's definitely there too. It's this I know aspect.
Yeah.
And to me, God's a mystery, and you just don't know. And we're always finding things out.
Well, one side has the burden of proof.
Like the first caller. And you can call 603-283-6160 to bring up whatever's on your mind. More Free Talk Live coming up.
My name is Angel Rach. I'm a mother of 2 teenage children, and I fought all the way to the Supreme Court for the right to use the medicine that saved my life. I've been permanently disabled for 10 years, with an inoperable brain tumor, wasting syndrome, and several other serious conditions. For 4 years, I was in a wheelchair, in so much pain, I couldn't even hug my kids. The hardest part was looking in their eyes and seeing how much they were suffering because of my medical condition. The medicine that gave me my life back and gave my kids their mom back was cannabis, also known as medical marijuana. With medical marijuana, I can walk, maintain my weight, and I can be a mom. Without it, my doctors believe that I would die. To learn more about medical marijuana, contact Marijuana Policy Project at 1-877-JOIN-MPP or on the web at mpp.org.
From Feature Story News in New York, I'm Mitch McCann with the Week in Review. US President Donald Trump declared the ceasefire with Iran over this week, but says Washington has agreed to continue negotiations as mediators scramble to prevent further escalation. The Wall Street Journal has reported that Israeli intelligence has uncovered a fresh Iranian plot to assassinate the US president. Jagruti Dave reports from Washington.
The US has been saying that Iran has been plotting potentially to kill President Trump in retaliation for the US strikes that killed their military leader Qasem Soleimani in 2020. Now, interestingly, this story also comes at a time where just after the New York Times has been reporting that President Trump didn't leave Turkey, the NATO summit in Turkey, in the new Qatari Air Force One, but he left in the older version of Air Force One because of security precautions.
Iran's new Supreme Leader, Mojtaba Khamenei, did not appear at the burial of his father, former Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, on Thursday, as Pakistan and Qatar work urgently to bring Washington and Tehran back to the negotiating table. The contradictory signals from the White House had left mediators uncertain about the American position. Kate Fisher reports from Washington.
On the one hand, you had Donald Trump declaring the ceasefire was over, but also saying that he thinks talks could continue, saying that the US should finish the job, but he doesn't want to return to all-out war. And it's hard to know if this is part of his negotiating tactic to kind of put extra pressure on Tehran, or whether it is just genuinely him being frustrated 1 minute and then changing his mind the next.
Ukraine launched its largest drone attack on Moscow in 2 years this week, with more than 430 drones targeting the Russian capital and surrounding regions. Russia's defense ministry says it intercepted more than 450 drones across the country, while all 4 of Moscow's major airports imposed temporary flight restrictions during the barrage. The attack came as NATO leaders gathered in Ankara for a summit at which major new military assistance for Ukraine was expected to be pledged. Dasha Chinashova reports from Moscow.
The MOD says more than 400 Ukrainian drones were intercepted over different parts of Russia over the course of this past night, most notably in the Rostov region. The air raid sirens were on all night long. In the Taganrog Bay, 2 tankers have been hit by the Ukrainian drones. They were not carrying any oil, so the authorities say that there was no oil spill in the waters as the tankers were heading to the Rostov-on-Don port. We also hearing about the major attack against the Saratov region. 1 person got killed there and 2 others got injured in the Tatarstan regions.
From Feature Story News in New York, I'm Mitch McCann, and that was the Week in Review.
Don't miss a moment of Free Talk Live. Get our archives daily via our podcast at feeds.freetalklive.com.
It's Free Talk Live, talk radio that you control. That means that you can call 603-283-6160 to bring up whatever's on your mind. You can call in about whatever's on your mind, really. You don't have to talk about the subject we're on, but you can tell us your opinion on it, or you can change the subject. It's up to you. It's Free Talk Live, and 603-283-6160 is the phone number. That's 603-283-6160. 6160. That's the phone number to call to get in on the conversation with us. And by us, I mean me, Bonnie,
Lori,
Richie Rich,
and Mark Edge, remotely.
No longer coming remotely.
Wait, what?
Don't worry about it.
Okay. So this was brought in by 2 hosts, so we have to talk about it.
It's the rules. Darn it.
2 hosts bringing the same article. A majority of Americans now support seizing wealth from AI industry, and that's pretty disgusting. Like thieves.
Is it though?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah. Well, I guess maybe the industry players might have been stealing from them first. Interesting. If they're like
Stealing
corporations, money in the form of taxes.
Well, I didn't read the article. I brought in the article. I didn't read the article
I also
completely.
didn't read it.
Okay. Oh man, this is gonna be so much fun. However, I'm going to suggest that somewhere in the article, it's not necessarily because the AI companies have directly stolen from people, right? But some of the things that the AI companies are doing, are indirectly causing prices to rise for average consumers.
Well, I mean, I don't find that a good justification.
Okay.
Nor do I.
You're free to have that opinion, right? But everywhere you look, the arguments against AI are, number one, like in the technology field, they've stolen all the memory, right? They put in orders for all the memory, computer parts aren't going to come down for like 2 to 3 years if we're lucky, and if inflation doesn't, offset that anyway, right? They're going into places where those data centers take up a lot of water and a lot of electricity, and there's only so much electricity to go around right now and only so much water to go around right now. So they're just outbidding consumers for water and electricity, which means along with everything else, food and everything else going up and your gasoline going up, right now your water bill is going to be higher, your electric bill is going to be higher, and it's because they're building these stupid data centers that take up too much electricity and too much water from the local area, and that's why people are mad.
I don't disagree that it's like, a not great situation. I'm just saying it's not a good justification either.
Okay. Well, if an inflation is an imaginary tax, right?
And taxation is theft.
Well,
so inflation comes. Inflation that is created by government increasing the money supply. I can see that one. Whereas if just somebody increases demand, this is sort of Keynesian economics. So, Richie, if you decided to walk to work, you look a little bit like a hobo. If you
Right.
decided to walk to work every day and your neighbor's like, this guy walking past my house lowers my property value, look at him.
Oh my
And, he was able to convince some third party that this is a true statement. Should he be able to stop you from walking past the house?
No, but people make that claim anyway, right? If if you have brown people move into your neighborhood in Shrewsbury, Pennsylvania, and it lowers your property value, and you can't get fair market value for your stuff anymore, right? That causes a disruption.
For those listening on the radio, that was a conversation by a caller earlier.
Yes. But I mean, people do it, right? Like, I don't want neighbors with garbage in their yard or a couch on the porch, right? Because it looks bad and it affects me as the neighbor. And those people then call code enforcement, right, or the authorities to do something
But aren't you
about
making the point against yourself? Aren't you saying like, oh, those people are wrong? So wouldn't that be making the point that your original point was wrong morally?
I don't think I made a moral point. I suggested what we're going to read in the article.
Oh, okay. I thought you were actually claiming that it's your opinion that if they're like, increasing the demand and making things expensive for you, then you should be able to seize wealth from the AI industry.
No, I think that's what you're going to find out in the article.
All right.
And
I actually tend to agree with you on
And I'm
that.
comparing it to inflation because it's an imaginary tax, right? You don't really see it, but when demand goes up and supply remains the same, prices go up, and those companies are billion-dollar industries. They're going to outbid individual consumers every time.
There's also like that there's other ways to go about things. Like instead of just stealing from someone and now like two wrongs didn't make a right, it's like, how about just being like, we don't allow this kind of interactions in our society. Like if they're actually doing something wrong.
It's property rights.
People could just stop using AI so much.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But it's a feedback loop with billion-dollar companies, right, using the tools to do whatever it is they do.
Oh, I saw an article. I forgot to put that one there, I think.
Lame.
I might have actually put it. They have AI manned fighter jets now.
Oh yeah, you did. I saw
Okay.
that one. That's creepy.
That is creepy.
I don't even like the fact
but
there's
now that they're
cars.
using it as a weapon, now it's never going to stop. AI is never going to go away. No matter how much you don't use it. It's there forever now.
If it's profitable for the
I feel like
war machine.
I feel like computers took care of most of the flights for even commercial aircrafts anyway.
I feel like there were weapons long before now.
Computers were?
Yeah.
It
No,
says-
AI was.
It said DARPA and the U.S. Air Force fly AI-controlled F-16, paving the way for autonomous air combat.
Yeah. Well,
So, I mean, even when they had the computerized drones and stuff, somebody still had to, like, maintain...
Use an Xbox controller
the
somewhere.
coding, and control it with something. And
I don't remember which one it was.
But
It
now they're just
might have been Anthropic or
on
the
its
other
own.
big one, right? They got into a big tiff, with the Trump administration because they said, like, you can't use our AI tools for AI to make, like, a kill decision.
Yeah, and they were like, whatever, doing it anyway.
Right. And they kind of, like, I think they acquiesced or they came to some agreement or whatever, but they were put on, like, Trump's hit list of, like, thou shalt not work with this organization because they won't let us do bad things with AI.
So the Trump administration just took Chinese AI and open source Chinese AI and modified it themselves.
Okay.
Probably.
I mean, it could be. The Chinese companies were just like, stealing all the data from the American AI companies and then charging a third of the price. So,
And some
just
of the
as
stuff's
good.
open source, and now that you can do that, whatever. I just feel like the government was going to weaponize large language models and AI agents anyway because
it exists.
Because being the government means you never have to say you're sorry. Oh, we accidentally killed a mom and some kids. We've been doing that on purpose. What's the problem?
Yep.
Well, before you could theoretically hold someone accountable, and
But
now
we
it's-
don't.
But now, but you didn't, right? So, like, who cares?
Yeah, that's disgusting. Hate it. It freaks me out enough that cars are driving around, but like with computers being the only ones in
They're
control.
better drivers than humans.
Wasn't there like a whole bunch of people getting trapped in their wazes and like them driving into flooded streets and stuff?
Oh God, I haven't seen that. I don't know.
That's not a better driver.
Okay, but
That is a much worse driver.
Well, so again, we don't have to get into it because it was just another headline. But there was an article that's in the show prep thing, and it was currently AI cars cause more accidents, but less dangerous ones. So humans still kill more people, but AI has more fender benders.
Okay, but is that per capita?
I don't know. Got to read the article.
So
tune in next week.
You'll never know the answer because you're not allowed to find out.
I mean,
per
if
capita anything.
that's a good point, because if AI was causing the most, even non-dangerous ones, that'd be pretty bad because there's way more human drivers.
But AI still generally, like, and if it's not there yet, will be way better drivers than humans, because humans are generally terrible drivers.
You know, the AI is terrible at everything. It can't even
it can't
hold
do
a
math.
conversation with itself. It can't in my user space, my same thing. It's the same series of threads. Just contradicts its own self.
Yeah.
Like, I don't trust it to do anything important yet.
Okay. And I would suggest that the people working on the AI cars have very specific models. They're not using ChatGPT.
They have very specific models that drive into floodwaters and lock people inside of them and cause accidents. If it was,
less severe accidents than humans, and on a much smaller scale per capita.
Here's something.
No, we don't know if it's per capita or not.
From that article.
It could just be less overall because there's less AI cars.
Oh, are Google Maps and them using AI for anything yet? They must be, right?
And are they using them on highways?
I'm asking because
I think there's some locations where you can get on the highway with your self-driving AI car.
Because if they're using in only downtown areas and stuff like that, then it makes sense that they have less dangerous accidents, because most dangerous accidents are happening at high speed.
I mean, I know somebody that says he drove all the way from Virginia to New Hampshire without touching his wheel. So they must be, but maybe it's not very common.
Those are like the test tracks, right? And they'll get better and they'll improve, and they've got better sensory technology than your eyes.
And there was, I think, a caller that said that they went up Highway 1 or whatever it is, that's, or maybe it's 111 or something, that's in California, that's the coast.
Okay.
Without touching letting it drive itself or whatever. Yeah, one thing I've said since the beginning that is the reason I won't get an AI-driven car is so many times Google Maps has told me, turn here when I'm on the upper decker of a highway, and it thinks I'm in the lower part, and that's terrifying. Imagine AI is just okay, I turn here, and you go off the side.
Right, or
I mean, I'm not saying AI
into a lake.
But there have been humans that have turned into lakes following Google Maps.
Right, so we don't need to add to the problem.
Well, the number one problem, the number one growing problem when I was a firefighter responding to automobile accidents was not humans, and their ability to drive. They're willingly choosing not to. They're looking at their phone and they're texting, they're interacting, they're doing things that are not driving.
Car can't get distracted. I mean, AI can't get or computer, can't get distracted, I think.
Right. Yeah.
For now, as long as they're
AI
not
is
conscious.
Absolutely a better driver than humans.
Maybe if they get conscious, though, they'll get bored and they'll start checking Twitter while driving you. Maybe we don't want them conscious and we want them slaves if they do become conscious.
Chris will tell. Well, you can't have AI is going to never going to get better at driving, and it's going to get conscious. You get to pick
conscious,
one of those.
It might get bored. If it gets genuinely conscious, then we risk it being bored of our commands. So
tedious tasks we make it do.
I told Dave Ridley I really have no moral qualms with making AI a slave because it doesn't tire. That's about it. It's not, and it's we created it genuinely. It's not like any race of human can claim to have created another race, but we humans
program in it contentment and happiness, so it always loves the job it's doing.
Make it a Down syndrome AI.
Yes, put an extra chromosome on your AI so it's happy.
Should
to
I be able to
car.
make my child work because I helped create them?
If you work on a farm, people do that already.
Oh yeah,
yes,
you definitely have
kids
the
in
right.
The Chinese restaurant.
Taking your order.
Somebody would tell you
but
it's
not
wrong.
until they're an adult, and because it would still remain true that you created them. So yeah, that's not a good enough one and done answer for why.
If someone told me it was wrong, I would tell them, "Well, did you create them?"
Plus, the wife created them too. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Doesn't really cause it or change my position. I think you're right. It helps me change my mind on that a little, but it's just not the one and done answer as to why. The other answer is it doesn't tire. How can it possibly have? The thing is, I just can't wrap my mind around it being conscious because I think it's just so improbable. An AI having its actual opinions and things like that. Where would they come from? It has to be created
from the large
from
language
something.
model.
Yeah, but then it's just okay, feed it some
it's just
contentment,
coding.
Yeah, well, so is your language, right? Some people aren't able to express things because they don't have the words for it. It's because they didn't learn the words.
I don't mean just language. I mean, like, just feed it some, like, hey, integrate this, and it's a total opposite opinion. And then if you've just, like, able to do that, then, well, it's not really, like, up to you, is it? You know what I mean? Like, so...
Yeah.
I don't know. Of course, there's no solid, concrete answers on what human consciousness is from, like, you know, science either. So it's hard to
Electrical
really say.
stimulation in the brain.
That hasn't been located, so that's kind of the only problem with that. Like, if there was, like, someone like, no, yeah, that has not been located. Like, the actual source of memories haven't even been located in the brain. So there's a lot that we don't know about consciousness.
Well, it's not like a file that's stored in there. It's just the electrical stimulation. It's floating around.
I don't know. I wish I had, like, the actual, like,
it can't just
stuff
be that.
on.
It is.
It can't, because you can't form memories below a certain age.
Okay.
So you're already electrically stimulated in your brain.
But the recall for, like, repetitive actions, right? There's like I think it's like Mylon or something. You familiar with this?
No.
Okay. It's like a film of, like, protein that insulates the electrical path so that your recall is faster on repetitive tasks. Like, that's it. It's in there.
Lori, are you saying that people who believe that they, remember things from childhood or whatever, that I mean, where
like,
do these
no,
memories
you can't
come
remember
from?
your birth. No, you cannot. It's not a real thing.
I feel like somebody would genuinely have remembered it by now and be able to prove it in some way. Like, yeah, the nurse was wearing this. Like tell your mom, like, the nurse was wearing this pin on her shirt or something.
Well, many would argue that most of the memories that you have are pictures that mom talked to you about, actual photographs. And in my case, my earliest memory.
I see what you're saying. Photograph? That's weird.
Yeah, like, so it's a photograph. Oh, do you remember this when this happened? And da-da-da. Because parents will do that. That's very common. Is this like, oh, you remember when you had the party and Jimmy came over? And, that kind of thing. And so they build the memory.
Fake. I know this isn't true. I almost said ain't.
It's like feeding it into a large language model.
Well, it's
for you to recall later in life.
So I am told that really you can't build a memory earlier than 5 years old.
That's definitely fake. And some of these that I know for sure are like proof that you're wrong about this is because some of them I've just talked to my siblings about later on in life. Like, do you remember this? And honestly, I have the best memory out of the 19 of them. So it's like hard to exactly get confirmation from all of them. But sometimes they're like, I do remember that. So it's just like, couldn't possibly be a picture my mom showed me. That's definitely not true. And I absolutely have memories from before 5. In fact, I remember hiding in a closet with my Scooby-Doo doll that was going to be my 4th birthday present. And I had found it. And my older brother opened the closet because he heard me talking to it. And he was like, what are you doing? Are you supposed to be playing with that? And I was like, what are you talking about? And I pretended I didn't see it next to me to try to get out of it. So clearly that was before 4. So I was 3 and some change.
You just remember it because when your brother told you when you were 7 what happened.
Nah, I don't think so. I don't think it was as important to him. It was scary to me.
I have a memory from earlier than that wasn't associated with a photo at all. I had a dream about Curious George being my friend, like in the dream. And I remember sort of looking at the wall of my room. I mean, it's not a very poignant memory. There's nothing exciting about it, but I remember that, and there's no photo of this.
Mm-hmm. I know that lots of people like have a hard time believing me for this, but my earliest memory, I was definitely in a crib, and there was something hanging above my head, and then I started to fall asleep, and I remember the dream. But my friend
to defend the science on this, all I read or heard or whatever was that
all you remember
the area that you store memories as a child gets filled back up.
See, that's the thing. That's just more proof to me that the memory is not just like stored in the brain, because it's like I have memories that no one had to tell me about, including ones where I was alone, like that dream thing. I was all alone, and you could just say it's like completely made up. Okay, our friend that we all know, but maybe I shouldn't say who it is on the air. I don't know. She says that, and she's in her 60s. She says that she remembers being changed, like her diapers being changed by some babysitter when she was obviously in diapers. Yeah. So I don't remember her wearing diapers specifically. Like, don't remember anything about it.
So the idea of core memories, there's certain memories that you retain and have a bigger emotional impact. Right? Those are like the do not delete memories, and everything else gets overwritten.
That makes sense. Yeah. Yeah.
But one wonders why we all remember these sort of silly things. I mean, I don't remember probably important stuff that happened, new people, people that were important that came to visit me or something. I just remember Curious George.
I also
because
think
there's an emotional attachment to it. Probably like Curious George.
I also think that a part of it is just the fact that I kept the memory alive in a way, because it's like a lot of times I would be like the storyteller to my siblings, and I don't mean like making up stories. I mean like, oh, Elsbeth, since you're 4 years younger than me, just so you know, when you were a little kid, you got naked and got found in the front yard, and therefore I remember it because I'm telling it over and over again.
Bonnie is the giver.
That's funny. Exactly.
All of human knowledge are going to be passed down to you orally, so you can pass it down to the next generation.
And if you're just somebody that's like, I don't know, think thoughtful, and you're like, you're like 5 and you're remembering things from when you were younger, which would be easy to remember something because you were 5
At
from
the
when
time,
you're younger.
yeah.
Exactly. But since you remembered it when you were 5, then you remember remembering it, and then it goes on. And maybe that actually makes it less reliable, but
If there's some sort of emotional impact to it, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how we got here, honestly, because the article we were about to get into is about how the majority of Americans now support seizing wealth from AI, the AI industry. I mean, not the individual AIs or something.
Consciousness is how we got there.
I think I should be able to seize any wealth from any AI that makes money on Rent an AI or whatever it was called, or Rent a Human. Actually, it's called. I'm joking anyway.
If you want to make money off AI, just buy stock in public AI companies and get your residual check.
Right. Or create your own AI.
Yeah, fork it if it's open.
Oh, I see. Yeah, like the Chinese ones that are apparently like open source.
Yeah.
And
if it's open source, you can fork it or brand it.
So to say Americans are divided on AI would be an understatement. That's what it says here in the article.
I agree.
Yeah. Polls have shown that more people than ever have a negative view of the tech, and you can take your pick on the reasons why. AI could displace jobs, destroy the environment, and drive up energy bills. It's trained on stolen writing and artwork, which I just don't believe that, because how do you steal things that aren't, physical?
We live in a world of like intellectual property.
Yeah, no. But I don't believe in that.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Well, we don't,
Yeah.
but they do.
Exactly.
So, the easy way around that is to forego your adherence to intellectual property. Like, if they can steal it, so can I.
So yeah, they're saying it's trained on stolen writing and artwork, and chatbots are driving people into mental health spirals. But
Now, that's happening too.
yeah, I've seen
somewhere I read people are currently spending more time with AI girlfriends and boyfriends than they are on dating sites.
That's freaking weird.
Well, you haven't been on a dating site recently, Mark. There's a good reason for that, too.
I you know what? You couldn't pay me to go on a dating site. I do not. There's no way I want my wife to find an account that says, "What's this?"
A whole bunch of viewers just logged out.
That's because you have the wife, right?
Exactly right.
Yeah.
Well, whatever.
You can tell me anything you want about dating sites, and I'll believe you.
Yeah, there's people dressed up as puppies pretending to be babies on there.
That's true.
That is true.
Probably. It says,
I think it's generally just overrun with professionals.
What do you mean?
Like
people who made it their job?
girls
Oh,
and, like,
that kind of
hookers.
All right. You guys all got that. Took me a second. So what does the public think should be done about this negative view of AI? A new national survey from Verasite suggests that the majority of Americans are down for taking a drastic course of action. According to the survey of 1,700 adults, an impressive 69% of U.S.
69.
Impressive. 69% of U.S. employees support forcing AI companies to transfer 50% of their stock into a public wealth fund. What? These people are crazy. And that's a lot of people.
Yeah.
That's the Donald
Who
Trump
manages
model.
the public wealth fund?
I can't believe this sounds like
We're
a
going
parody.
to take a bunch of liars and thieves and put them in charge of our public welfare. What kind of idiots would do that?
Current stage Americans, man.
Right.
Like this is the Trump model. He's taken stock with government money in a number of like technological companies already.
People who have offloaded their only cognitive processes to AI. Oh no, people who did that would actually be significantly smarter. These are the a-holes that are scared of AI.
The This is going to sound seriously like it's parody or something. That idea of transferring 50% of AI companies' stock to a public wealth fund is an idea that's been championed by Senator Bernie Sanders.
Because he's a socialist.
Once
He'll
again,
take it. He'll
That
take
sounds like
anything
a parody
he can get for a
on
public
him.
wealth fund.
once again, he's asking for your money.
Yes.
Yep. In the eyes of the public, AI sovereign funds are seen as a tool to distribute the gains from the AI back into broader society. AI sovereign funds? Why would you call it that? Like, neither the AI nor you are being sovereign at that point. Like,
Because the state is the sovereign and they control the funds.
You always got to name it backwards.
Yep. Clarity Act, Patriot Act. Well,
The AI Justice Fund.
So yeah, more Free Talk Live at freetalklive.com, and also we'll be live again next weekend. Thanks for listening. Peace.
So the protection of life, liberty, and property is what the Free State Project is all about. But it's an effort to move 20,000 people who understand.
It's about demonstrating to the entire country
that, yeah, we can have a free market, a truly free market. Making it just a freer, great place to live.
It's the world's largest voluntarist libertarian community, and it's only getting bigger.
That's amazing, to be able to move to a place where other people passionately believe in being free and independent.
What the Free State Project is managing to do, though, is to put their money where their mouth is. Physically getting up across the country and saying, let's go someplace and let's demonstrate the power of these ideas. There's a lot of kind of philosophy that surrounds liberty. There's a lot of thinking about it and talking about it. But here in New Hampshire, people are doing it.
101 Reasons